Welcome everybody to Strong Perspective Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Keith Armstrong, along with Damon and Jaquari Armstrong. We are your hosts of Strong Perspective Podcast. We have special guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Danny Moore, Roz
Hey,
Gilbert.
Hey
Thank
y'all.
you, ladies. Thank you for coming through. Uh, really and truly, this is something that me and my brothers discussed, and we were really looking forward to it because we're not exclusionary in the fact that we just bring men on here. You know, we want our sisters' feedback. You know, whether we agree with it or not, we want the feedback. We want to hear what you got to say, and we've been blessed to have two strong women. And what I mean by strong is the fact that they understand who they are and they're making it happen for themselves. Okay, Danny, Roz, welcome.
thank you.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Good to have you.
What we usually do is before I do any house cleaning or housekeeping, whatever you want to call it, I ask everybody how their day was and how the week was. Damon, we'll start with you, man. How was your day? How was your week?
My day was okay. I got through it, man, but I was up at 3 o'clock this morning. You know how you just pop up out of your sleep and just be up for the rest of the night?
Well, you know that 3 o'clock hour. You know what that means, brother.
God's trying to tell you something.
Right now.
Yeah, I asked him why he keep waking me up at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. He's trying to touch you, brother.
And if he can be so kind to let me fall back to sleep.
Let me sleep. Jaquar, how was your day, man? How was your week, brother?
Day was good, man. The week was manageable, bro. No fires I couldn't put out. You know, it was fairly productive.
See, I like that word fairly. Fairly means it's right in between. You know what I'm saying? That means you have more control of your situation than not.
Oh shit.
All right. Well, Roz, welcome. How was your day? How was your week?
Today was excellent. Today was really good. I lead a what I call it. It's called a one chat with our office. We having 1 hour one chat on Fridays, and today that chat was 2.5 hours. So that was good. That was really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, you know, you help people to understand what they need to understand when they need to understand it.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's like a collab.
Okay.
You know?
Cool.
Yeah, my colleagues. We collab every Friday. So yeah.
Okay.
And the week was pretty good. I was real productive.
Okay.
A lot of stuff done. So
Good.
yeah.
Danny, how was your week? How was your day?
My week was all right. Nothing particularly special except spending a little time with my grandbaby. And
Congratulations.
thank you. Today was amazing, actually. I went to the gym this morning. Had a really good workout, more cardio than I'm used to, but the cardio that I needed.
Mm.
You know, some weight training. And then I came home and I got rid of some things. And you know, it's always good to purge some stuff, right? So
Yeah,
I took 2 bags to the Goodwill, feeling good about my will. That's about it. And now we're gonna have us a nice little strong perspectives podcast.
and that's the truth.
How was
Rob,
yours?
let me just say this.
Yeah.
Mine was I'm gonna get you the whole head, fair to middling. You know what I'm saying? This is just what it is. You know, I what I've learned to do as far as me concerned is always look 5 minutes ahead. As long as I'm pointing forward, going forward, that's it. You know what I mean? You know why? Because I'm a worrier. I worry a lot.
Mm.
I've done that since I was a child. My brothers will tell you, I do. This is what it is. That's me. But with my old age and retirement, that's starting to change for me, and I'm starting to enjoy life better. That's it.
That's nice. That's good.
I only get one.
Right.
Let's do this. I'm gonna do some house cleaning for us. This is a Strong Perspective podcast. You know what we specialize in is each and every guest and the host what we do is we give our perspectives on what we see in life throughout our daily lives and what we do. We also concentrate on our past that shaped us into who we are. And look, and it's a funny thing, and I kind of hesitate when I say this because people don't understand what it means. This is a judgment-free zone. So you're able to speak your word. You're able to be who you are. You know what I mean? But understand, in the act of being who you are, you will be questioned by everybody on this panel. You won't be ridiculed. That won't happen. You know, because we'll see to that. But really and truly, what we want to do is promote conversation.
Okay.
That's it. That's all we want to do. You know. So before we go further, what we'll do is, Roz, you don't have to go in depth, but if you want to go in depth, it's up to you. Tell
Okay.
us a little bit about yourself because Danny is a friend of the show. But just let the people know who you are.
Okay. So first of all, I'm a child of God.
Amen.
And I'm a realtor, so I call myself Realtor Rise everywhere I go. So yeah, Realtor Rise. I love sports. I'm a sports fanatic. And what I love to do is, hang out at the beach. And I love hanging out with my adult children. I like my
like that.
children. I love them, and they're fun. And I like to hang out with them. So I do that most of the time. And you can catch me watching sports. And I love being a realtor. So that's what I do.
Okay. That's nice. Let me say this. Our Pitt Panthers are playing right now against the UNC Tar Heels,
Yep.
and we are looking for an upset.
Okay.
guys.
I got it. Yeah. They look good yesterday. Was it
It was
yesterday?
yesterday.
Yeah, they look good yesterday.
Yeah.
They look good.
So this is what we're doing. You know what I mean? Because Roz and Danny and myself are Pitt grads. You know what I mean? And Jaquari is a graduate of North Carolina Central University.
Nice.
And Damon is a graduate of Siena Heights. No, I'm sorry, man. Is it Siena Heights? Because I was getting ready to say, hey, Damon, I was getting ready to say Albion. But he lives in Albion. You know, it's a great college in Albion too. But Siena Heights University. You know, so I think that might be something that we all should not talk about, but I should have mentioned it. And right now, it is 3 minutes left in the half, and it's 26-26.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
stuff. Good
Okay.
stuff.
Damon,
can I say one thing?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to hear about your Detroit Lions. I was rooting y'all on too.
Okay.
I saw your post. Yeah.
Look. Damon and Jaquari will really appreciate that. For real.
You made me sit up.
I'm telling you, I was rooting for y'all.
Did you see how Damon perked up just now?
I'm gonna have to go out because I'm it's choppy. I'm hearing you, and then you going out and coming back in. So I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Do what you got to do. You know we'll be here, man. You know. I'll tell you what. When Damon comes back, we'll get into the meat of it.
Okay.
But really and truly, Jaquari, I'm gonna ask you three guys this, and is this something that's coming off my dome? I mentioned all five of us are college graduates, right? What do you think? And we'll start with you, Jaquari. What do you think it means to you to be a college graduate? And by the way, Jaquari graduated cum laude from North Carolina Central.
Okay.
It was just theater. So I mean,
hey man, first of all, just take the win and move on, my guy. Now you're good. But talk to us, man.
I'm gonna do what I want with my win, brother.
Look, you're not the boss of me, but go ahead.
It's a beautiful thing. It's definitely a beautiful thing, man. But it puts me in a funny space because I think it's about time for our community to you know, not necessarily be moved that much by accomplishments like that. I mean, and I don't. I mean, it sounded a lot better in my head before I spoke the words. But less than 100 years ago, probably, this would have been an impossibility. For five black college graduates to be in one place without the police or not in court. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I mean, it's a pretty good feeling for me, man, because now that we're about to speak on it, I'm starting to realize the gravity of the situation.
Okay. Okay. Damon, but what the question was is how does it feel to be a college graduate? And Danny, we'll go to you.
How does it feel? What does it mean? I'm sorry. What's the question?
How it feel? What does it mean? What comes to mind?
Um, what comes to mind? I don't know. I mean, I think for me, college ain't for everybody, right? It don't make us better than anybody else or anything, but I do feel like it gives us more diversity, more awareness of other people, and just like some different things. When you go to school, typically, and I'm from Philadelphia, a lot of people from Philadelphia don't know anything but Philadelphia, right? Especially at that age, you know what I mean, when we're going off to college. So, you go off to college, you meet new people, you find out that things that you do are specific to your area, and people from other places do things very differently. Down to what we call soda, how we say y'all, whatever. So I think for me, the best part about being a college graduate is the diversity, and then knowing that you've accomplished something, and it was something else I was thinking about, but it kind of slipped my mind because I get a little scatterbrained a little bit. But I mean, I think that's most of it. You know what I mean? The accomplishment part of it, and then also like, and this doesn't have to necessarily do with graduating, but it has to do with the experience, right? You get an opportunity to like kind of play grown when you're not really grown. You know what I mean? You got like a safety net, but you have the opportunity to get out there and be on your own, and your success or failure is up to you. You know what I mean? What you got to do. So yeah, it's multifaceted for me, but I'm definitely proud to be one.
Hey.
And proud to sit amongst others, because when you sit amongst others, you kind of know that y'all have a similar experience, a similar, even though the cultures are very different, a similar culture, knowing that you've all experienced something that's very similar and you have similar experiences. So
Okay.
I think that's about it.
Roz.
So for me, very proud to be a college graduate. And I tell people, yes, college isn't for everybody, but if you can go to college, I, encourage the young folks to go. It's more than just the education. Happy to have a degree. It allows you to get to doors that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get to. But I'm telling you, it allowed me to learn time management. And I also learned to budget and like Danny said, how to be an adult, how to play an adult. Yeah. And I remember, and as far as budgeting, I remember like having $5 for the week, and I had to decide like what was I going to do. I mean, I had a meal card or whatever, but we would go to this place called CJ Barney's, and it was like $1 wings, so that's where I went. But it allowed me to budget, time management, and to make some amazing friends, like Danielle, like amazing, like lifetime friends. I didn't know that it would impact me like that, but it allowed me to make lifetime friends. And also one of the biggest things about college is it allowed me to understand that you can't get something overnight. You got to work for it, delayed gratification. And I think that is what college students are good at. You have to wait 4 years to get that degree. So I know that anything you got to work hard for is going to take some time. So that was a valuable lesson. And the degree was pretty good too. So
okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Damon.
For me, it's like Rod said, the lifelong friends. You know, people known them like 40 years,
Mhm.
and that's where I met my wife in October. Be 40 years. We'd be together.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah.
Still got friends.
Bro, the brownie point alert. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Do your thing.
The gypsies.
You go get a little kiss when you get off tonight.
I deserve it.
No, that's right.
You know, I don't know if I job about college was a struggle, man. It was hard, playing sports and trying to graduate too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people realize just how difficult that is.
Wow.
And it is about budgeting your money and what I'm saying, making sure your schedule was tight, and staying the course. So, that was one of my first major after graduating high school, that was one of my second major accomplishment, and actually going in with a plan and achieving that plan, long and short term. Last part is, I'm glad that me and my wife was an example for our kids, So all three of them have degrees, So they kept up the tradition, of the tradition, and we didn't put that expectation on them. Like Rod said, college is not for everybody, but they chose it, and they did a hell of a job with it. So kudos to them, all credit to them. We just provided that stable atmosphere, for them to thrive in. So yeah, college provided a lot for me and my family.
Steve, what up, baby boy? I think this is one of the questions that I'm gonna answer.
What up, bro?
Really and truly, what it means to me was I wasn't the first to go to college in our family, but I was the first to graduate. Now, when it comes to me and my brothers, they'll say that they wanted to go because I went, because we're that close. But when you're young, you don't appreciate none of that. You know what I'm saying? You don't appreciate the fact that people look at you at a certain way. Like I came up in the time, I graduated in 87. Well, really 86, but 87. And the thing about it is, it was pumped in our heads as Black folks that we need to go to college because that's the answer. That's the answer. That's going to put you where you need to be. And it came from my parents because our parents worked all of their lives. They're like, yo, I want you to do better than what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And only reason why I went to college was my father. My father told me that's what he wanted me to do. I was going to go to the Marines or go work at the Ford plant or work at University Hospital, 6'9", factory worker and shit. You know what I mean? But that's what's so crazy about it, because that's what my mind was, in the simple fact that if you're not told this is what you're capable of, and I respect my father highly. He might have lied to me, but I don't know when he did. When he said to me, yo, this is what I want you to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at him like, yes, sir. I got you. You know what I mean? And he came from Mississippi, my mother from Arkansas, with a 10th grade education. He dropped out to work. My mother went a little further, but they were hardworking people. I seen them get up and go to work every day. So when they asked me to do something, because that's what they did, they asked us. They didn't demand anything. They asked us, because when it came to excellence, we was raised to be excellent, period. So we were educated. When it came to school, they gave us that education, but we were educated outside of school, or who we were. as Black people, who we were, the books. We were reading the books that meant something.
Right.
So we was given a choice. So what it means to me, right along with you guys, the sense of accomplishment for myself and for my parents. My parents looked at all of us. I would like to think they looked at all of us and smiled about it because they were able to influence us to go. You know
I
what
love
mean?
that. I love that.
So,
Somebody, that you?
I made a mistake.
You know, I feel I'm feeling some kind of way because I had to go first or whatever, man.
oh, you want to throw some other stuff in there, brother? I mean,
Nah,
come
man.
on, man.
I will mention it. I ain't gonna put nothing else on it. But I will mention it, bro. Thank you very much for that precarious position you put me in.
First of all, I bigged you up, man, because I ain't even come close to cum laude. You know what I'm saying? Come on, dog.
But
Stop playing.
the thing is though, man, my college experience, man, it showed me that performance and popularity, had very little to do with success. Because I swear to God, I've sat in college classrooms with people who couldn't read. Couldn't read. And I'm not talking. I'm not. I didn't. That's not a comedic statement.
Would you say? That's future, not furniture?
I'm saying. You know what I mean? And I'm not bashing nobody because they had the wherewithal to be in that space. But when it came to boots on the ground performance, I mean, they just didn't have it. It didn't have it. And throughout my life, I would always be in a position where people didn't really pay attention to me academically. But especially when I went to Central, I kind of came into my own and I figured out that I was good. I'm good. I'm good at education. Good at it. Good at it to the point to where, when I was a child and my dreams and aspirations, to play football in college, kind of surpassed everything. I mean, we were raised to, use sports and things like that as a vehicle to get to college. But in my mind was clouded to the point where all I was thinking was football. And education was really not paramount.
Gotcha.
But it opened my eyes to a lot of things.
Hey, since before we go on, since we brought this up, right? Jaquari came down and we went to visit. He was going to play football for Central. So we went to the athletic office, met with the athletic director, assistant director, and all that, right? It was so unofficial visit. So we was on campus, right? And the coach who is contacting Jaquari, he said, "Man, you guys came on the right day, right?" I got to tell this story. I might get in a little bit of heated water, but I'm gonna tell it anyway.
I wish you would.
He said you came on the right day. So in Central, Wednesdays is called Chicken Day, right? In the cafeteria. So he said, "Come on, we asking him to explain." He said, "No, come on, I want you to see this." We walked up into that cafeteria. Good God. I tapped him on the shoulder. I said, "Hey man, you going here because I want to come and pick you up and bring you home."
Yeah. But see that it was a fun chicken day. Yeah, it was like the Apollo up in there on Wednesdays. Yeah. I mean, people put on club clothes.
Yeah.
And went, to get some mediocre chicken.
It's mediocre chicken, but it's like everybody was going to the club.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
And it snapped things into perspective for me because what he didn't tell you was when I moved down to North Carolina, I was 28 years old. So I'm trying to play football as an old head, and I'm like, okay, it's a certain way I got to carry it, to carry this. I'm all about leadership and setting an example or whatever. But I go to Chicken Day, and I see all of these, all these young folks. I'll say,
Right.
I'm like, damn, I had to concentrate on using my powers for good. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm serious. I mean, because it was a tricky spot for me. For me.
Yeah.
But college is also where I met my wife.
Right.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
She was at Chicken Wednesday.
No. I met her in acting class.
That's beautiful, y'all.
Very nice.
Let's do this before we ain't gonna rush into this. So I have a topic, and since you are a veteran, you and Jaquari are a veteran, Damon, I'm gonna have you address this first. And this is it's kind of light, but it's kind of meaty at the same time. What does it mean to speak life into something or someone to you?
What does it mean to speak life into somebody?
Speak life into someone or something.
Well, first of all, is to recognize them with respect, man. You know what I'm saying? If you see something that stands out in the person, I'm talking about good virtues and stuff like that, to let them know, hey, man, keep doing what you're doing. Continue to walk the path you're on. You know what I'm saying? You're doing the right thing. Being yourself and reaching, man, because I'm like Jaquari now. You asked me first.
Y'all vets, man. I mean, you can follow up later, but get it started.
But speaking life into somebody, man, is to recognize them, man. Recognize their humanity, and understand that they got struggles too, and respect that. Respect a person, like we did in the back in the old days. What did our dad and uncles and grandfathers taught us? When you see an older black man, you say yes sir, no sir, and you speak first. That means something to them.
That means something.
Mm-hmm. Especially African American, male or female, being acknowledged, man, with respect, just because they at the age that they are and they earned it, And I think that's part of speaking life.
Sorry, can I say something real quick regarding just like the respect that we show to our elders, right? So I'm a nurse. There was a student nurse working with me one day, and it was an older black lady who was our patient. And let's say her name was Jane. And I keep saying to this woman who's like in her 80s, Miss Jane, Miss Jane. And there's this white student nurse who's at least 40s, you never know with them how old they are, but she's like, Jane. And I'm like, Miss Jane. And she just didn't pick up on it. So finally we leave the room and I had to tell her, you know what, let me give you a lesson in cultural competency.
I know that's right.
Older black women do not like being called by their first name by someone younger than them. So you need to address them as Miss, either their first or last name, and you might want to ask them which one they prefer.
That's real.
And
I love that.
She was like, oh yeah, you know what? I did notice that you were saying, but you just decided not to. I was like, yeah, well, you know what? They may tell us to call people by their first names, but with cultural competency, don't call an older black woman by her first name. And you would think that was something that people know, but she know now if she didn't know before.
Oh yeah,
right.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
Right.
First time I've heard that term, cultural competency.
I know, right? She's so
smart. That's so nice. Wow.
Well, you know what? We deal with so many different cultures. We have to know, like, Asians don't like you looking in their face, and Muslim women don't like to have a male nurse. It's a whole thing.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I love that. So for me, that life and death is in the power of the tongue. So for me, that means to think about what's coming out of your mouth. And edify a person? Is it lifting them up? Think about, even if it's something that's not so positive that you need to tell a person, say it out of love, speak it out of love. So for me, it's just to build a person up and to, really think about what I'm going to say and how would that make them feel. So
Okay. Jaquari.
Well, for me, it's a couple of different things, man. When I see somebody, man, that might need to hear an encouraging word, man, it puts me in the mind space, and I think about times where I was going through similar shit. You know what I'm saying? And the one thing I always fall back on is I always tell myself, and I say to other people, man, if I would have had somebody say certain things to me at certain points and periods in my life, it would have made the road to my successes a lot less bumpy. You know what I mean? So when I see somebody struggling, especially when they're involved in some kind of venture, I pull them to the side, come have a cup of coffee with me, man. We talk to you for a minute. Out of the blue.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Oh yeah. I see what you're doing. I understand what you're doing, brother. And yeah, it might be fruitless right now, but it ain't gonna be like that forever. Ain't gonna be like that forever, man. Because if anybody could trumpet that, it's me. Because there were times when I was young. I in my young 20s, hell, I was so tired of life, and I felt so dogged out by outside influences or whatever, that I just felt like I was done. I felt like I wanted to retire in my young 20s, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm a young man. So I started breathing life into my own self, and I started to understand that I didn't need outside affirmations. They were beautiful when I received them. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, that's it. That's it. I ain't gonna even fuck it up. That's it. Yeah.
Jaquari, that's funny because that's exactly what I was thinking about, right? Like, I think speaking life into somebody is about encouragement, right? And sometimes it might even be me telling you when something that you're doing is not right, right? Or it's not leading you in the right direction and you need to maybe make a change. But most importantly, what I think about is speaking life to myself, right? Because I'm the person who I'm going to know forever. I'm the person whose voice I'm going to hear forever. Right. And, I think we need to be really, really purposeful about speaking life to ourselves, right? Especially as a woman.
Absolutely.
We're like, oh my God, I'm going to fat this dress. Absolutely. This don't look right. My hair ain't right. So I have recently, like within the past year or so, been very purposeful about speaking life to myself. You know what I mean? Like, girl, you look good today. Or, you are really smart. Or, things we say we don't really pay attention. Like, and my dumb butt did this. Or I'm so disorganized. Or I'm always late. And you know what? I've had a challenge with time, but I'm going to be on time. Or I'm going to rearrange that. Or these pants are too tight. I must be too fat. You know what? These pants don't fit. Let me get the ones that fit me right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So speaking life, yes, we definitely want to speak life to others. We want to encourage other people, but we definitely want to make sure that we are encouraging ourselves because our voice is a voice that we hear constantly. And so we need to make sure that we're very careful about what we say to ourselves. And I've even been reminding my friends, you know what I mean? Don't talk to my friend like that. If I hear you saying something bad about you, don't talk to my friend like that. Change your voice in the way that you're speaking life into yourself.
Oh, I love that. I love it.
Damon, you look like you had something to say.
No, I was listening. I mean, that was great.
I know you was listening, but them lips was moving too, dog. You got something to say?
No, I'm like Jaquari. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Let
it stand how it stands.
Yes, sir.
I mean, real quick, ladies, and this is off subject, so please forgive me. Okay, who do you guys? All right, if a woman was to compliment your dress, and a man was to compliment your dress, which one would you believe?
Damn, good question.
Which one will we believe? So first of all, when I put on the dress, I'm cute, so I believe myself. But I believe them both. I take compliments from women as well as men. I would believe them both.
Because I've heard several black women say that women in general don't dress for men; they dress for other women.
Really? What?
Yeah, I've heard that plenty of times. I mean, I dress for myself.
Me too.
Right?
So I can't.
And if I feel like I'm looking good when I put it on, I'm like, I'm feeling good. And guess what? My aura is going to be like I'm looking good, so everybody else going to think I'm looking good anyway. And if they don't, they crazy.
Right.
The energy that you give off, usually people actually receive. Period.
Exactly. So when you feel good about yourself, other people are going to receive that, right? But to keep it real, sometimes if a man says it, right, I'm like, oh, thank you, that's nice. But depending on like the situation and who the man is, it's like they just trying to come in my neck or something or whatever. But come on, I appreciate the compliments even if I'm not interested.
Right.
You know.
So hold on. So are you saying there's a little bit of paranoia from that compliment? You like, yo, he just like the way that I look, and he just trying to.
Not paranoia, but like you just trying to flatter me, but at the same time you recognize it, so that's what's up, right? And if a woman says it, as a black woman, I ain't gonna front. I appreciate a compliment from another black woman. I mean, it's nice if a white woman says it too, but it's a little different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know, when a woman says it, you know, I appreciate it. But again, keeping it real, there are times when, like, I've had experiences where, like, I work with somebody or something, right? And that person is always saying something about something that you have on, right? Oh, I like your shoes. Oh, that's a nice dress. And again, to keep it real, that's the person usually that's always kind of looking you up and down, seeing what you got on. And sometimes you're like, is you always like monitoring what I got on? Like, and I guess you as a man, you might not understand, but you know, as women, you like, damn, this girl come say something about what I got on every day. Why is she looking so hard? And
Danny,
then
not to interrupt you, Danny.
Go ahead.
Let me just throw this in real quick.
Go ahead.
We understand, but we don't give a fuck.
Right.
I mean,
at the end of the day, neither do we, but still, we just like, why are you always looking at what I got on?
You know,
I always had a quick comeback for that because men are just as catty, if you want to use that phrase.
That's true. It's definitely true.
Every time somebody, you know, has something to say about what I have, I'm like, hey man, my wife dressed me before I left the house.
That's probably the truth, though, huh?
Look.
Yeah, it's absolutely the truth.
But don't go looking at her, though.
Yeah.
You know, I put on something, and she looked me in, and she say, "Try again." You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's an easy statement. Hey man, my
oh my God, y'all! How about my specials outside?
How
I
you
think
know?
they're trying to bum rush the broadcast. Hold on, Alicia.
Oh, that's funny.
But I tell you what's so funny though, Roz. No, go ahead and finish, Damon. Go ahead.
No, I was finished. I just wanted to throw that out because I mean that's usually the statement.
I'm gonna tell y'all something hilarious. This is hilarious. This is when I was still living in Pittsburgh, Jaquar and Damon, right? And we was at our spot, Nats, right? And me and Kia was living, and my wife Kia was living with me, and you know she's from Philly, she's from Germantown, right? So she's on that, you know. I'm gonna buy stuff. Say, Keith, I'm gonna buy stuff I want to see you in. You know,
that's right.
No, that's my boo. I'm like, all right, I got you.
Hey.
I
All
got
right,
you.
so I'm sorry. to
Sorry,
interrupt
y'all, because I can't
but
hear y'all.
I told Alicia and Gina that we was doing y'all podcast, and guess what? 2 more college graduates
They showed up.
then came in here to bum rush the podcast. Y'all might as well show y'all face.
Yo,
That's
what's going
Alicia.
on?
Hey, what's up?
How
Good
you
to meet
doing?
you. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm
This is my
good.
brother Damon. Jaquari is
Hi,
the one with my
Damon.
brother. Jaquari
How
with the
y'all
hat,
doing?
and my brother Damon with the
Who Uncle
phone.
Spoon?
We only using the one.
Hey, Uncle
Jaquari.
Spoon.
Hello.
That's
How y'all
Jaquari.
doing?
And that's Gina.
Can you hear?
All right.
Yeah.
Good to meet you. Good to meet you.
I don't see him.
The
Pleasure
keeper
to meet
here.
you guys.
In the big chair.
Oh, yeah, in the big chair.
Hey, Gina, put your
Big
glasses
daddy
on
chair.
trying to be cute, man. Stop that.
What you say?
I ain't say that.
Come on. Get on in.
Hey, look, let me tell you the crazy thing is,
What kind of stuff?
Oh,
Can you turn your volume up, Lars?
Oh, that's what I was trying to do.
Gina.
Gina.
Hold on,
Can
Keith.
what button? Can you,
You want me
Put
to
the-
turn the volume
It's
up
up to
or your
top.
joint?
Yeah,
Hold
here,
the
hold on.
hold on. Use your phone.
hey, look,
you just got to touch. You don't got.
Oh, okay.
You want to hear? You can
Okay.
listen to
Oop,
They're
let's
going
do it
over.
now.
hey, look, hey, Jaquari, Fluke. I like where this is going, man. I like this.
Yeah.
joint. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Oh, I'm glad I put a little lippy on or something.
Okay. Get in here. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I gotta
You
rep
got-
the pods.
hold
Pit
on.
and girls high. I'm
Hey,
representing.
Danny.
Look, look, look.
Hey,
All right.
hey, Danny. It looked like you brought the squad because you
Look.
felt
We
some
roll
kind.
deep now.
Yeah, you felt some kind of way about how we treated you the last time. You was here?
Before I got back up
Hey,
now.
look,
Wait, because when I walked, it was like
Hey, you-
3-on-2. So
hey,
now
no. I'm gonna tell you the crazy
Yeah.
thing and that was all Bill giving Danny a hard time because Bill was on with us. You know what I mean?
Listen, I can hold my own. I
Definitely,
know y'all
definitely.
dearly, and I can hold my own. But you know,
Danny
my
said she
girls
don't need no
is here right
backup.
Right.
All right. Well, look. Let's do this the right way. Since you're on, we're gonna start with you, Alicia, and then we're gonna go to you. Look,
You can't be afraid.
introduce yourself
Danny.
to us.
My name?
Introduce ourselves. What you
Danny,
want to know?
come
My name is Alicia
Danny, you
Smith.
can't be afraid.
How long have I known you?
Oh, you can't drink.
Oh my God.
I know. No, I'm saying
Since
you.
well,
you
I
how
was
you
knee high
get-
to a grasshopper.
getting more
The truth
drink.
of the matter is, my name is Alicia Smith, and I was a very young tenderoni at Pitt when I met Key. You know, and I had to be protected from the wolves at Pitt. When I was a fresh, young, tender freshman, I had to maintain my delicate southern sensibilities that
shit.
touch curls. You
No
know,
doubt.
So,
yes.
Hey,
So
look.
from Camden to North Philly, I came to Pittsburgh with delicate sensibilities. Imagine that. But I
Hey,
did.
look.
You ain't gotta laugh so hard. Y'all ain't gotta laugh. I did. I really came. I was pure and innocent. Barely
No,
touched.
you sure was. I can attest to that. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Barely.
I mean, but she was touched. Her
either
pearls
you're
was no
touched
longer
or
white.
you're not.
Hey, and this young lady right here, Gina Wiggins. I knew her when she was a straight up youngin'. You know what I'm saying?
That was a long time.
Introduce yourself to everybody for us.
Here, y'all.
I'm Gina Wiggins. I met Keith probably like about.
I know it's
2
real
weeks
bad. This
into
weekend I'm
this.
doing some stuff.
I don't know if I'm gonna say I was a very young, untouched tenderoni.
Mm.
And I used to deal with one of Keith's very. Well, I was engaged. Let me say that.
Yeah.
Right.
If you get it from there, just for a second.
It was
My
just-
man Demetrius Gore. That was my brother right there.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
man. By the time I hit the game,
I know.
She was hemmed up.
That's why
she was on lock.
And,
Oh,
That's hilarious.
And look, and Gina,
I put some.
Gina didn't have a chance because it was me, it was Jerome, it was Charles. We were like, look,
Wait.
you better act like you know. You know what I'm
you
saying?
tease me when if I didn't do right.
You didn't do right.
Yeah. I was like, David, it's too early in the morning. Ain't my fault y'all come from games
I was
7,
like,
8 o'clock in the morning.
how
I
was
don't
they seeing?
have class yet.
How was they seeing you so early in the morning, Gene?
When they used to come in from their games.
'Cause they were
Right.
7,
laid
8
up.
o'clock.
What you say special? Because they was what?
Because they was
Laid up.
And he was trying to get me a shower sick. And he got mad because I was like, look, I'm still asleep. He got very upset. Remember that, Keith?
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. But look, and you fell in line too. So you know what I mean? So
It's black girl magic, guys. I see.
all right.
Mhm.
So since y'all here,
magic too.
Hey,
It's like, yeah, it's
This-
like
this-
magic.
this is
Oh,
gonna be-
caramel
this is gonna be
magic.
very
Yeah,
interesting
caramel
'cause-
magic,
Get a couple cocktails.
milk
for my
chocolate
girl.
magic, and
Yes.
Hershey special edition
Yes.
dark chocolate
Yes.
magic.
Hey, hold on. I want you guys to be heard.
Okay.
All right, because we want to hear from you.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna give you opportunity to speak on this. And just as a matter of fact, you came in just in time
Uh-oh.
because we're getting ready to get into the meat of the situation.
Mm.
And I'm gonna Danny liked this particular question she wanted to talk about. So I'm gonna present it to you guys. And what we're gonna do is, Raj, you're gonna go first.
Y'all, I gotta go first. I'm ready.
I know you're ready. That's why I'm gonna put you first. And then Leisha, you're gonna go after Raj. Then Danny,
You gotta tell me when you're
then
ready.
Gina.
All right.
All right.
Yep.
And the question is,
Oh shoot.
It's
a question.
I'm
hold
sorry.
on, let me find it. Okay. This is gonna be interesting. What is your definition of a high value man
Mm.
and a high value woman?
Damn, I don't even know what
All right.
is no more.
Oh, that.
No,
See.
no, hold on.
All right.
Let me throw some context into this situation.
Okay.
All right. From your point of view,
Mm-hmm.
how you feel about it, and just let us know.
Okay. So I'm going first, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm currently in a situation in my life where I know what a high value man is, because that's why I'm out here looking. That's what I'm out here
Okay.
trying to. Why you let? What is she doing? So to me, it's to me, it's a person that it's a man that I can connect with spiritually first,
Okay.
Right.
emotionally, and I can rank it too, because that's just what I'm doing now. Because I need to know what I need to get. So emotionally, mentally, and then I'll say physically, and it wouldn't be bad to connect financially. So that's a high value man to me. But when I was younger, or if you would have asked me years ago, but I was married a long time, but so it wasn't an issue, I would have put physical way up the list. But
Gotcha.
I'm 55 years old, so physically, we can be physically attracted, but maybe I'm attracted to you physically, but that's not my priority.
Mhm.
I need a man that is and a high value man to me is he following God? Is he following Christ? Because if he's not following Christ, I can't follow him. I can't, if he's not, he can't lead me, so to speak. So yeah. So spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, and that financial thing, that's good too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right now.
Same for me as a woman.
All right, but before we move on, explain to me what you mean by lead you.
Come on.
But-
The man's man.
Right. So I mean, lead me in a biblical sense. You know what I mean? Like guide me. Like what's the right thing to do?
Okay.
And have a biblical base. You know what I mean? And I pretty much know that was missing in my marriage, is that I wasn't being led Christ, he wasn't being led by Christ.
Gotcha.
So when Christ is not involved, then it's not going to work.
Okay.
It's just not going to work. And I love that y'all are all married to y'all college. That's a beautiful thing. So I need to hear. I can't wait to hear from y'all.
Okay. All right, Leisha, it's on you.
You can tell I thought about that. All right.
Okay, so let's get into. I need to get here with you. What is a high value man to me, and a high value woman? And some of it, I'm not going to waste.
Y'all done went on there, y'all done got drunk, man, already.
First of all, Keith, you know we a Danny house. So you know what
Dropping
it is.
shit all over the place. But go ahead, Alicia.
Man, what did I miss, man?
You ain't missing nothing.
It's way
You
too
good.
much.
You good, bro.
Okay, okay. We got to control the background.
All right, go ahead.
So I'm not going to waste the time repeating what Roz has already shared. But what I will say, in addition to that, for me, when you talk about what I'm looking for in a high value man, I also think that, you know, most of us at this stage of our lives, we're all over 50.
55.
I said over 50.
Over 50.
Over 50.
55.
And
That's
so the things that we were more focused on in our youth are not necessarily the priorities for us now, because you're at a different stage of life. We're in a different stage in our life cycle, right? And because of the time that we've had on this earth, most of us have, you know, been able to accomplish certain things. So it's not necessarily that you're looking for someone to bring any material or financial thing, because the truth of the matter is, many of us are already close to being wherever our goals are in that realm. But I do think, for me, there's something about a man who has a level of intellect. When you talk about being led, like someone who knows how to be a problem solver and who has this just like wit about themselves, there's something about that just hits you in the sha-na-na. And the ladies know what a sha-na-na is. If the brothers don't know, it hits you way down in the belly deep. And to be honest, for me,
why don't we know about that, Alicia?
I didn't say. I said you may or may not know, but I know the ladies
with you.
understand.
Just go ahead.
I know the ladies understand that.
Great answers though, for real.
Huh?
Great answers though.
And I also think the only other thing I would add is that, you know, I find and I experience in my interactions that men undervalue how much it is important to us as women to be with men that allow me to be in my feminine energy. Like I want to fall back. I want to be girly girl. I want a brother who's going to stand up and lead and take, and all I got, just tell me where to be, daddy, and let me show up. I'm not mad at that. I lead all day long at work. I'm making decisions all day long at work. I'm taking care of family members. When I come home, I'm ready. I want to turn it over. But you have to be able to be whatever that means for you in your life. And it's not about your education. It's not about your job. Because I've dated, many of the guys that I've dated are not necessarily all college educated, but they got hustle, legal. They got some hustle about themselves, and they know how to handle business for themselves, so that I know that I can sit back and understand that you're going to be able to make those decisions for us together. So for me, you know, I just want someone who's going to be able to stand up and lead and be able to make decisions, and is demonstrated not by him saying it, but because I can see how he's doing it in his own life for himself.
Gotcha.
And I could feel comfortable falling back and not having to be the decision maker. Many of us, that the strong Black women who are always independent, it's because we don't have no choice. If I'm not doing it now and I'm single and I live on my own, who's doing it? Gotcha. I have no choice. Gotcha. But if I have a choice, then let's go. I'm here for it all day.
Okay.
Love it.
Danny stepped away, but Gina,
it's on you.
Wow. I think a lot of the stuff they said is correct. I might be still slightly little vain. I got to at least have some physical attraction.
That's for sure.
Don't get me wrong. I mean,
that's not
dumb as a box.
Let's be clear.
No,
that can't be the.
And I say that to say, because I've dealt in a couple of relationships where there wasn't always that physical attraction. If, you know, the person was nice and they did everything, and that might have been missing. But I'm also, I guess, as Alicia put it, I want to do my femininity. What did you say?
Femininity.
You want to be in your feminine energy.
Because I take over sometimes too much, and I need a man who can be strong, but also I want to be a woman. Because guys always say, I want an independent woman, but you really don't want an independent woman to a certain extent. You want a woman that is still going to cater to you, and love her to come home, cook and clean, and get her ass up for you.
Yeah.
But in today's society, it's hard because most of us are all working equal. So that's a battle, especially if you've been so independent, you take care of bills, you basically taking care of running your own house. And, you know, that makes the balance. And also, you know, like Ron said, it's spiritual.
Yeah.
That's first.
Need someone spiritually connected. You know, we can talk openly And I think a big thing I might even say is makes it positive honesty.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
honesty and integrity and respect. I can respect a man if he is honest with me, if he tells me, or you know, I'm not at that point. And I think that makes a woman strong too.
Mhm.
You know, from a man's perspective, they want a woman who is strong, not a woman's going to tell you what you want to hear when you want to hear it, but go behind and do something else.
Mm-hmm.
That goes for both aspects. And also, we're not gonna find the perfect person.
Nobody's perfect.
Hey, nobody's perfect.
So
There's
you
only
know,
one
everything
person.
you say, I learned to weigh it with that person what's important, with that person what's important. And when you talk about finance, you know, at this juncture, you might meet a man who has it all on, but you know, he might also be guarded just like you guarded. If I hate to say, I got my own house, I need to prenup myself. I got a 401.
Gotcha.
I've been married to my 5 years, and you want me to split half? No, we're not doing that. But here goes Danny.
Okay, Danny Diamonds, what's going on?
Danny,
What were we? I'm sorry. What was it?
High value man, high value
Yeah.
woman.
Your definition of it.
So for me, I think a high value man is, and I didn't get a chance to hear what everybody said, but I think somebody who is independent, somebody who is respectful, and somebody who's willing to make room for you in their life as well as become a part of your life. So by that, I mean, I've been dating for a while. I've been divorced for a long time, and a lot of times it seems like, the older you get, the more people do not, the more people just kind of get stuck in their ways, right? So it's been my experience, and I lead a busy life, and I know that I do.
Keith is silly.
But people want you to fit in their life, and they don't want to fit in yours. So you have to, a man and a woman, we both have to be willing to make concessions to fit into each other's lives, right? So I think somebody who's willing to bend, who's willing to compromise, who is definitely God-fearing, and I'm going to say respectful again, because so many people just aren't really respectful, and I don't even know if they don't know it or not.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I got.
Yeah, we can hear y'all.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, for me, and just being independent, like if I'm with you, like, and we were together, and then you fall on hard times, you know what I mean? I got you, but I don't want to meet no man at this age. I'll be 55 double nickels this year, and I'm really not trying to like take care of anybody, raise anybody. Like, you need to be in a position where, you know what I mean? Yeah, you grown. You own something. I don't mind if you live in an apartment, because everybody don't want to have a house. You know what I mean? Some people don't want the maintenance and all that, upkeep of a house. They live in an apartment. But own a car. Have a credit card. Have a credit score that's halfway decent, at least, close to 700. 10.
You said close to it.
Have money, right? Something like, don't look for me to take care of you. And it's not about necessarily how much you make, but how you manage what you make. You know what I mean? Because I dated a man who probably made about $50,000 a year, but he managed his money very well, right? And then I'm not going to talk bad about my ex-husband, but he didn't really manage his money that well. You know what I'm saying? And that made it stressful for our family. So that's it for me. And I mean, at this point in my life, I've just noticed so many people, like I said, just aren't willing to compromise. And one of the topics we talked about was like why men and women can't like get it together. I'm not saying it right, but that was one of the things we kind of talked about. And I think a lot of it is, people aren't willing to compromise. People aren't willing to be honest about what they want and what they're willing to give. We say, I saw like a post online recently that was like, all these people single saying they want to hook up, but can't nobody get it together. Somebody lying. Right? And the reality is, why can't we get it together? Like, we all single.
You're right.
Like, all these people single, not y'all. Thankfully, y'all 3 married men for a long time. Hallelujah.
I know, right?
Right. but we all single and everybody's out here like lying and playing games and you know what I'm saying? Dudes, you meet somebody, they be like, "Oh, you want to come over?" Hell no, I don't want to come over. I want to go out. You ain't even got to pay for me necessarily. I mean, it would be nice if you did, because you know what I mean. But yeah, I'll hope for you when we get to that point. But no, I don't want to go to your house. And no, you ain't got to spend a fortune. We can go out and take the train and take a ride or something. It ain't even about like the money that you spend and all that. But don't just try to have me in your crib. You know what I mean? Come on. You trying to hide? You trying to stay? Why you want me in your house instead of let's go out and do something and really get to know each other and stuff. So
Cut to the chase.
Can I just piggyback on something? So when they go into my house, that's a funny one. Because some dudes don't want you to their house at all.
Well,
because
that's
they got
true.
a lot of stuff going on.
That's true.
That's
too.
when you find out.
They got other people living there, but go ahead.
Ah.
Say that again, please, sir. Please, can you repeat what you just said, Brother Keith?
What he said?
They got
Say,
No,
repeat
no, no. I want to preface this with saying I was joking, but they got other people living there,
That's
which
what I
is the truth too. But go ahead, Gina. I'm sorry.
Oh, but some.
yeah.
That's why
Let's be clear.
sometimes they say come to my house. Sometimes it's hard, like trying to smash or you can go see how he lives.
I hate that word.
I mean, at some point, but not out the gate. You know what I mean? Like, no, can we have coffee?
Right.
Okay. All right. Now, this is another one of the questions that I chose to answer. I'm answering this because I know both my brothers don't want to be first, so I'll answer this. All right. High value woman.
Ooh.
What
Let's
I
hear it.
see in one. Okay. My wife match it maybe because we to be honest with us, we're not easily satisfied because if you do not have love for yourself, nobody can ever other people can't make you happy.
Right.
You can make yourself happy. Right? Now, to be honest with you, it could be you can overdo it
Tell me.
because that narrative, I don't need no man. No, you don't. But you want one though.
Absolutely.
I don't need a woman. I don't need a woman, but I want one.
Exactly.
I love that.
So you living off. You try to live off one side. Now you got to be smart. Let me just answer the question. High value woman to me, and men are easy. And if you throw into the material thing, especially if you love somebody and you throw that material thing in there, then really and truly you're trying to take the easy way out. You don't want commitment. Because if a man has a woman who gives him her ear without criticism, but pull his coat when he's fucking up
Mm-hmm.
and make him feel as though they are there in it together, no matter what wins that you make, right? No matter how much you win and how much you lose, a high value woman to a man is he knows she got me.
Keith, let me just ask you real quick. At what point, though, at what point can a woman pull your coat, right? Because that ain't something you can do like right out the gate. Like you got to be a little bit.
No, Danny, I understand your question, but understand this. You talking to somebody who saw my mother and father. I was born when they were 18, my brother Damon at 19.
Mm-hmm.
So we grew up with them.
Right.
And that was a lifelong relationship. And we saw the good and the bad of it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was nothing sheltered. It was nothing hidden from us. So we understood when it comes to our women, we got a choice. And I'm not blowing smoke. That's the truth.
Right.
I got a choice whether or not I want to deal with the dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So if I got somebody, if Kid says to me, Keith, this is wrong, I'm going to stop. Even if I don't agree with it, I'm going to stop and hear what she has to say.
Right. But Keith, what I'm asking you is, so we're all single right now, right?
Okay.
Roz and I have been married.
Long time.
Alicia and yeah, long time.
Long
Gina and Alicia have not been married. But what I'm asking is because we're all in the position where we will be starting relationships, right? And so you're saying like you want somebody that's going to pull your coat, that's going to have your back. But at what point do you allow a woman to pull your coat? Because I can't meet somebody right out the gate and in a week be like, listen here, dude.
Okay, well, let me ask you this then.
Like at what point,
Daddy, let me ask you this. You said the magical thing. You guys are going to be starting relationships. When do you let somebody in?
Oh,
You personally let somebody in.
Question.
But you gotta find someone because
I get that, Gina. But I'm saying, when do you let somebody in?
but it's one thing that's a little different, and y'all all got male friends, single and whatnot, and some of them ain't even honest. But it's more of us and less of y'all.
I get it.
So for us, some dudes already know that.
So what you're saying to me is, even though you see the red flags, you accept the red flags because you have a goal.
But you
I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. I'm just asking you, is that part of it?
No, I think what. So I'm not
compromised. I think we've all probably had compromise.
We have in the past compromise, but I will say this. I think I'm not going to speak for anybody else. I'll speak for me. There's a difference between pink flags and red flags, right? Everything ain't a red flag. Everything isn't a major thing, but I do believe that people show you who they are. And sometimes
always.
So we're traveling down this road and I say that the goal is for me, I'm in Philly, the goal is to get down Broad Street. And I encounter someone and I'm reading signs along the way that say, this is not going to get you to Broad Street. And if I stay on that road and I don't end up at Broad Street, then that's on me because I got the warning signs along the way. I can't get mad at anybody because I saw the signs that said detour here and I didn't get off that road and I ended up at a dead end, crashed into a ditch. But I will say that to your question of how long does it take, unfortunately, because of the things that I have experienced, and I think many other women, you're not going to get the wide open door right out the gate. Like I need to be able to
that's a smart thing.
I need to take time to get to know someone and I need them to get to know me because in addition to me wanting to understand who they are and what their flags are, I also need them to be able to see who I am and my 100% authenticity and decide whether or not that's something they can rock with. Because the truth of the matter is, as a flawed human, I'd say I'm flawsome. I'm awesomely flawed and I'm fabulously me. So that doesn't work for everybody. And I get that. So I need you to see who I am and my authenticity and decide whether or not that works for you and the same. But not everyone is comfortable in their full authentic selves. Some people feel like they need to put on a show, tell you what they think you want to hear, and then you end up down the road or they wonder why it's taking so long. Our discernment helps us to see something's not right here. Like you said, Keith, I've never been to the house, probably because of somebody there, or every time I talk to you, you're never at home. Every time we talk on the phone, if we talk, because everybody's in this text thing now, if we do talk, you never call me when you're just sitting at home chilling out because you can't talk at home. We're not stupid. Like we see those things. So they're not at the stage left.
Okay. All right. Let me do this real quick. And Jaquari, I want you to answer. But
I want to hear what they say.
I know, me too.
Woman.
Keith Barnes, we acknowledge you, brother. Keith Barnes said, I put it up on the screen. Brother,
I know, right?
And you're allowing these sisters to describe me.
Ooh,
Keith Barnes is a good friend of mine. He retired from the sheriff department like myself. And he is a owner and operator of a big rig. This is what he does for a living now.
Is he single?
Is he single?
He's single.
But he's single.
And you're putting your name on that. You're stamping that he's single.
That's my dog. Yes, he is.
But is anybody else considered his girlfriend? Does anybody else consider themselves?
He doesn't have one. But Jaquari, it's on you.
Okay, I'm waiting.
I've been sitting here trying to put something together, man. I don't know how to follow that, bro. For real, for real. But I mean, for real, it's a loaded question for me because
Of course.
my definition since I've been married, since the day I've been married to this point, it's changed. It's changed 1,000 times. I mean, the things that I thought were important, I got from society.
I'm feeling you.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that, that was, for the most part, that was some fairy tale shit, and until you really in the grind with a person and y'all both got your shoulders on the fucking wheel pushing it forward or whatever, you understand that sometimes, you're gonna have to hold your mate up.
I love that.
I don't have any apprehension or shame about that, because that's something I'm comfortable with doing now. I mean, hold my wife down. I mean, there's been sickness, there's been times of financial strife, there's been times, where I think we were just tired of each other, but we worked it out, and I didn't have that expectation when I first got married, because I believed in the fairy tale. Some people just make it look good, man, but it comes from practice, because they do the work and trying to figure out who their mate is, and that was what was important for me. And the reason I say my wife is a high value woman is the fact that she gave me the room to figure out who I was within my marriage, because it took me a short period of time to realize that I'm not the same spoke, post marriage that I was pre marriage or whatever. It's impossible. You can't be that person. Not if you don't. You was listening to the vows as they were being spoken. You're not the same person. It's the reason why black people used to jump the broom. It's the reason why people get carried over the threshold. This is a new thing. And if you're not willing to, expand your mind and understand that this situation is for both of you, it's not necessarily a one-sided affair. I have problems because I mean, everything you lady said, I validated, I respect it, but it's a lot of responsibility for me to lead a woman. It's a lot of responsibility, and a lot of times, I fuck it up. I still fuck it up, but she's here, and not only that her being here, supporting me the way that she does, that speaks to my evolution as a person, and she kind of helped to provide that space for me. So that's it.
That's
All
good
you
stuff.
did a good
Good
job,
stuff.
man. You were trying to put something together. You did a really good job, in my opinion.
Right.
Damon, it's on you, brother.
Well, I'm the stale one, man. I'm gonna keep it real simple. A high value woman is that woman, man, that you built something with and raised kids with, man. That when you in your 50s, late 50s, and you had your struggles and your trials and tribulations and something like that, she recognized it and she acted on it. You know what I'm saying? And you do the same for her. With goals in mind. Hey, we put in the work. We made things happen. We should be proud of that. But now it's time for us. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's the one thing that people struggle with. Realizing when it's time for them, it has nothing to do with finances or material things or anything. It's those things, man, that remind you the reason why you fell in love with that person. Because life, what does life do, man? Life shows you, man, how to, sometimes life falls off the rails, man. And those are the trying times. That's a high value man and woman when shit falls off the rail. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't support me at my strongest. Hell, I did that on my own. You know what I'm saying? When I'm weak and I'm struggling, that's when I need you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm gonna provide. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna provide, but the world had this thing that attacks the most powerful thing in the world, and that's a black man and a black woman. You know what I'm saying? When they come together, anything is possible. And that's when that real evil and that real shit start coming into play, man. And that's when it's important. You know what I'm saying? Who your mate is, that high value person. When you at your weakest and you need somebody to stand behind you, you know, either you're gonna stand behind them or you're not.
Great.
You know,
great
ain't no
point.
hard feelings.
Great point. That's it,
I'm
bro.
just saying, man.
That's it.
But I'm speaking. I'm
That's
speaking
it.
from.
The end. Yeah.
I'm speaking from a married man.
That's-
So
yeah.
I'm at that. I'm in my not golden years, but I'm moving in that direction where I need mine by myself now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm selfish in that aspect.
Nobody spoke to the responsibility. I'll say it again, man. Nobody talked to me about the responsibility of marriage, man. I mean, not in like.
That's the
You
class
had-
that needs to be taught.
Here's the thing, man. See, people are looking for that. Man, you got 8 billion people on this planet. God's biggest miracle is none of us are exactly the same.
I love that.
You know what I'm saying? None of us. So when you get into a relationship, you got to know that person and know thyself, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You have to know that. And you have to know that if you venture into, nobody ever said that being married is an easy thing, man.
No, it's not.
But you
It's
know,
not
it's
easy
a
for
fairy
anybody.
tale, and the fairy tale is real. We get sold that fairy tale when we're young, that like the prince comes, saves a girl, you ride off in the happily ever after. And the thing is, there's no happily ever after. The only people who I know who are in good marriages work very hard and very purposefully to maintain their marriage, right? It's not something that's going to happen miraculously. It's not no, oh, you're happily ever after. That's not how it works.
Mm-mm.
People who have good relationships are very purposeful about maintaining their relationships. And even then, sometimes it doesn't work because it's hard, right? But the fairy tale, that's the thing. And I've said that for years. We get sold this fairy tale, and it's not a fairy tale. It's work. Marriage is hard. It's going to be ups and downs. It's work. And you know what? Roz spoke earlier about physical attributes not being the be all, the end all. But I do firmly believe that you do need to be physically attracted to your spouse or your partner, because I think it's that physical attraction that gets you over sometimes those humps where it's like, I can't stand this man, but damn, he's fine, right?
Right.
But like,
Well, hold on. And that's interesting for you to say.
Mhm.
But a man will get, if his woman, and this is my perspective.
Mhm.
If his woman is wanted when they get together and is appealing to other people, and he loves her dearly, it makes no difference what she goes into.
Mm.
Meaning that she has, and this is not everybody, this is my opinion. Statuesque, fine as hell, and this and that, but we love each other.
Right.
When that pooch start to come,
That's right.
you feel what I'm saying? And you're a little chubby around the face, I don't see it.
I love that.
Right.
I love that.
And look, I'm not trying to soup the situation. What I'm saying to you is, I have the wondering eye, like, yo, little youngin' walking past, like, damn.
Holy shit.
Right.
Right.
No, listen,
Holy shit, bro.
no, Jaquari, this is safe to say,
Okay.
because understanding that still brings the energy in me appreciating who I have.
Right. Right.
That's all it is, because I can turn back to her.
Right.
Right now, the way that shit started off, if Kid was standing beside me, she would have smacked me upside my fucking head. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Tell her later.
No, she's gonna. I'm gonna tell her. You know what I'm
You
saying?
better tell her.
Right. I
She
know
already
that's
know
right.
this
But
one.
look, my wife, Kia, loves Shaquille O'Neal, and she will tell me that. She will tell me that all the time.
Hey, yo, a couple of years back, my wife put Shannon Sharp up as her Man Crush Monday, and I was feeling some kind of way.
Oh, his
But
wife.
now I'm like, yeah, you see that shit, yeah. But nah,
You got your revenge, dog.
I'm just
Shannon,
I'm
look,
just kicking it,
Shannon,
dude. I
Shannon.
don't care nothing about that dude.
I believe the man is heterosexual, but his
I don't
his
shit.
stylist be making him look real spicy sometimes.
Who
It is what it is.
Who were you talking about?
Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp.
Oh, Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
what
you know,
about
I mean,
Shay
listen,
Shay, I need leave Shay alone.
What about Shay
he
Shay?
lost me
No,
on.
no, y'all don't give a shit because you know he, yeah, you know what I'm saying. But it is what it is. This is a man's point of view.
All right,
Right.
can y'all go back to something because it was
What's
a
up?
comment that was put up,
Yeah.
and one I can't remember who said it, but one of the things that you talked about was a woman being able to handle a man's vulnerabilities. And I think personally,
In
I
love.
think in love,
Right.
and I think that that's a mutual thing because in this day and age where women are expected to be strong, to hold you
Strong,
down,
oh my
to
God, so sick
do
of
all
a
of
strong
these
black
things.
woman.
You're supposed to be the strong black woman, but then sometimes we also feel vilified because we're that strong black woman,
Can
right?
we
You
kill
too
the strong black
strong,
woman?
you too
See,
independent. So I
I
think
think
can each other handle each other's vulnerabilities with love,
If-
then the
for
veils
me,
come down.
Go ahead,
yeah,
Jaquan.
personally, it goes back to when you guys were talking about a woman pulling your coat. We grew up in a house where our mother didn't coddle us.
No.
We were young kids. I was 5, 6 years old. My mom, she telling me, get up, stop crying. Are you dying? Is the world about to end? You not? No. Okay. Well, go back out there and push it back. That's the kind of woman I was raised by. So my wife has many of the same attributes. She don't hold her tongue. She don't hold her tongue at all. And did that take some getting used to? I'd be a liar if I said that it didn't. But
Right.
But did that
as
attract to her?
yeah, as I survey the people around me, and I see that ain't nobody else doing that. That boosts her up just another level in my
Right.
mind. I don't shit. If I'm stinking, tell me I'm stinking. Don't have me out in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that's real.
Right.
Don't
Right.
have me out in the world
Good.
looking foolish and looking
Yeah.
crazy.
Right.
You was the first
You
one to
wake
say,
up
That's right.
looking for your boots and shit. They sitting outside, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
them boots was humming.
Yeah.
She give you
Yeah.
she give you a piece of gum before y'all go to bed and shit.
No, that's
was
real
a
because
big-
I have looked at
Yeah.
somebody and been like, he don't have somebody to love him.
I know that's
Like
right.
you can tell, he needs somebody.
All
to
right.
love
Well, let me ask you guys this, man. As black men and women,
Mhm.
and guys who watch, and please comment on this too. Do we work too much off the narrative of what people describe us to be instead of the reality of who we are? And this is stemming off of how it's kind of what you guys look, the way you was talking about how you look at men, how as far as pulling their coat, as far as talking to them in a certain kind of way, as far as them being vulnerable to you and vice versa. Do we work too much off the narrative? Because it's been more than a few times when it's a strong black woman. First of all, me and my brothers was raised by real ones.
Mhm.
You feel what I'm saying? Like fighters. But when they were around their husbands, they weren't fighters.
Yes, but
You see what I'm saying?
because they didn't have to.
So nowadays, and what I'm speaking to is the narrative. What do we see? Like I watch social media and all this time, and you know how I look at social media, which is so funny when I say it. It's entertainment.
It
But
is.
see, I come from that generation. Like, this is entertainment, pulling this up.
It's not real.
Mhm.
It is not real. And if it's real, to your point, Leisha, it's because it's that particular person we're looking at. It is not all of us. Right? So the question I'm asking you is this. Does peer pressure determine how you look at your mate?
Hmm.
Mm.
Nah, I think when
Let's-
I was
Hold on, ladies. Jaquari, you shaking your head. You go first. And then Danny, and we'll start with you, and then we'll go with you, Gina. But go ahead, Jaquari.
Nah, I mean, nah. First of all, man, I don't care, never care what anybody else had going on in their house. Then I don't care to hear it. In conversation, I don't have a lot of friends who come to me with marital issues because I don't really entertain those because I got too much shit on my own plate. You know, I'm not an expert at anything. You know, just because we've been together for 20 years don't mean I got every second right. You know, that trying to hold on to that honesty, man, for me, has kept me in the game. I don't always say the right things or do the right things to make my wife happy. And a lot of times is I don't have any reason why not. You know, and that fucks me up. You know, because some of the worst advice I ever got, you know, when I first started dating was, you know, sometimes you got to say no. Sometimes you got to say no.
Why is that the worst?
Man, if I'm in a position to, you know, to say yeah, and I know, yeah, and I know that this particular thing is going to make my wife happy. What kind of asshole would I be to keep that away from her deliberately?
Gotcha.
You know, so me trying to compare myself to somebody else's household, man, is it's just a crazy notion to me, man. You know, I seen something on my Facebook feed. It was these young influencers who were getting criticism for being traditional housewives, which meant that they didn't work. You know, they took care of the house, they took care of the kids, you know, and provided, you know, whatever needs their husband had, and the internet was kicking their ass for it, you know. And now that's not something that I really ever wanted. I never wanted to be the person who comes home and brings home all the money or whatever, and you sit home and take care of everything at home. And when I get home, I got to tell you the news of the fucking world because, you know, you don't leave the house because you vacuuming and cooking and shit. Now, I mean, what kind of situation is that? You know, why are black men in particular so afraid to witness black female evolution? I mean, because that's what's happening. Black women, when a person is doing their thing, red, black, or green, you know, you have to acknowledge that. When a person has drive, you know, and ambition and a good idea, who the fuck are you to stifle that? Especially if you're that person's mate.
again, that's
Here you
why
go. Wait,
we
Gina,
want an
start over.
independent
You was
person.
muted.
You was
so
muted.
go ahead.
Start over,
That's
Gina.
You can hear from there.
But I was muted.
Oh, you
Go ahead,
okay,
Gina.
go ahead.
Once again, is do you want an independent woman? That's what I think it comes down
What is independence though, Gina? What you guys' version of independence?
to me that can pay the bills, take care of the house, can also make the same type of decisions you are. I mean, knows what's going on. Like, all right, we talking about cars. I know just as much about cars as you do, or I know just as much about construction as you do, or I can learn it. Where some people really don't want me to want that man, some men want to guide all that. I don't want you to make those calls. Those are calls I'm supposed to make. That's what I'm supposed to know, not you supposed to know. I'm gonna do the towel in the bathroom. We hold it. I don't know all the bathroom.
In our house, my wife is the ideal person. I do the work, and that's just how it works out.
I mean, and Damon, I want you to respond to this also. But first of all, independence meaning by yourself, right? But if you're looking for a relationship, what you're doing is this.
No, I understand it, but what I'm saying about independent is a man, not saying, so I'm not saying in regards to not coming together.
What?
So some of us, like, okay, I was raised by a father. My father wanted me to be self-sufficient.
Of course.
He passed away a little bit too early
mine
to
did that.
say how to fall back and guide him how to make, not to say to be smart, make him think he made all the moves.
But Gina, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but see, what I said earlier was, in order to really be in a good relationship, you have to love who you are. I'm talking about the man. I'm speaking from the man's point of view. So it would not bother me that you know more about cars than I do. Because guess what I'm going to do? I still think I should leave the house, but I'm going to look at you like, Gina, what's up with this Subaru? What the fuck? What am I doing? I don't know anything about it. No, I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I love it.
But this
You know what I'm saying? Damon.
I'm still leading the house.
Be-
But then at the same time, like, are we leading together? You know, I have
So
to.
does it have to do with you though? You feel some kind of way because you have to take the
Right.
full.
No, I mean, do you feel some kind of way? And I'm not debating with you like that.
No. I'm just
Yeah, like, do
throwing
you
that out there.
way of I'm still expressing myself?
Can I interject real quick?
Yeah.
Hey, hold on. I'm gonna go to you, Gina. Danny. Hey, Damon. You nod your head, so you got some shit I know you want to express.
No, the only thing what's happening?
Okay, I'm gonna give this to you guys because we want to keep interjecting because you young ladies, y'all bringing up some great points. We want to respond to them though.
Here's the thing: if you get with your woman and she's independent, man, then that's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? That's probably one of the things that attracted you to her. You know, if she's strong in some aspects in the relationship, you know what I'm saying? That's her bailiwick, man. Let her be that. You know, as long as you respect me as a man, you know, I don't have no complaints. I don't have to load over you and make you stifle yourself for my comfort. You know what I'm saying? That's not the reason why I got with you. So anybody that does that, there's some insecurities there. You know, I'm not speaking for all men, but I'm just saying, you know, as I'm listening, the only thing I can revert back to is my own personal experience with the person that I married and I'm in love with. You know what I'm saying? And anything that's outside of our experience ain't our experience. It's not. You know what I'm saying? If you tell me, if a woman come home and tell a man, well, you know, old boy, he getting it done over there, you know what I'm saying? You need to step your game up. Y'all not gonna be in a relationship long, man. It's not gonna happen.
Disrespectful. That's disrespectful.
It's
Just
not
in
gonna
case
happen.
you don't know.
And it has nothing to do. Listen, the one thing people need to realize: finances come and go in a lifetime. It comes and goes. People people struggle and people had good times. It's what you do in between, that great area, man, that matters most.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes a man to get laid off from a job that has nothing to do with him.
But here's the thing: if a woman loves you, she never wants to see you disrespected, and she never wants to disrespect you.
Right.
I mean, really, like,
Right.
you know what I mean? We want to respect our man. We want you to be respected.
Exactly.
Whether you lose your job, whatever.
But in respecting your man, you respect that individual person because there's nobody nobody's liking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He is who he is. Making comparisons or judgments based on somebody else.
Yeah, that's not good.
That ain't gonna work.
No, that's not.
And there's no way on this planet that's gonna work in any situation.
You gotta watch that.
You know, because people have feelings. And the last point, I think this is what most people need to understand. When you get into a relationship with somebody and you start to get to know them, you are that person that can hurt them the most because you know them. You know what I'm saying? Because you know them. So you're going to get personal and you're going to say jacked up stuff that you know cut to the bone.
To the bone.
You know what I'm saying? That you know that cut to the bone. So you have to take responsibility for that on both sides. You have to take responsibility for that. If you in a relationship that you're trying to foster, I said some jacked up stuff last night. You know what I'm saying? And it might take that person a while to forgive that, depending on how personal it was. But let's not sit here and act like we don't do that, because coming from somebody on the street, it don't mean shit. It means something when it comes from somebody that you building a life with. You know, so when you cut that deep, you know what I'm saying? You got to ask yourself, am I really trying to be in a relationship with this person? You know, or am I trying to kick this person to the curb and leave them damaged on the way out?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you gotta ask yourself what type of person you trying to be.
But
because if the roles were reversed, would you accept that kind of behavior?
Mm-hmm. Can I add one thing, Key? So like all of what you're talking about, and not the, so a couple things. One, so like I'm in a leadership role at work. That doesn't mean that I have to be the expert in all areas that I have responsibility for. A good leader knows how to maximize on the gifts and the skills of the people that you have on your team. So I am not I don't have insecurity about hiring someone. You know, I might hire a director or a vice president, somebody who has a level of expertise in that particular area that I don't have. I don't have insecurity about that, because that's why I want you on my team, because you and I together are going to work to lead this team. I think that requires, whether it's at work, and I think that's what you're talking about in the relationship situation, it requires a certain level of emotional intelligence and awareness on the part of the individual to recognize where your strengths are, how you affect others, how others are bringing to the table, what others are bringing to the table, and how that does not have to threaten your leadership or your role or your place. That requires a certain level, that requires an EQ that many people don't even really understand or know anything about. And that's part of, I don't know, you know, in terms of like being at this stage, when you talk about what you're looking for is a level of emotional intelligence at 50 and plus that you bring it to the table. So some of that isn't a heavy lift for us when we come together. Like somebody said, doing your work, like you have to do your work. I'm doing my work so that when we get together, we're not further damaging each other. We're not, you know what I mean? So
that's damage. Okay.
And that's one of the reasons why I don't fear an independent woman, because I'm an independent man. But I understand that, you know, we're bringing our independence together, and that melding has made us strong in a lot of areas.
But you know what might
catch
or sometimes as a woman. So say you dating this guy, and you're like, damn, I'm positive I got blah blah blah, and he go get with Shanae. He got five.
Hey, hold on. Hey, Gina, we're gonna come back to that. We're gonna come back to that, but I want to hear from Roz and Danny. So Roz, you go ahead. Right. Then after her, Danny is on you.
Okay, so I don't even know what the question is, but I'm just gonna throw out whatever. So we're talking a lot about independence. I feel like a marriage, be strong in who you are, but let's be interdependent. You know what I mean? Let's work. This thing here, we gotta work together. And I'm old school. I want somebody to lead me. I want you to be led by Christ and lead me. So, and I'm gonna be strong. I'm gonna do my part, but I want to be a soft girl, like Alicia said. I want to be soft. I want to be
the strong black woman.
Thank you. I want to be. I'm gonna do my share. I work hard in what I do, but at the end of the day, I just want to be pretty and take me to dinner.
Say so.
That's it. Take me to dinner. I want to be cute. Take me on trips. So I don't know. I hope I answered your question.
Okay.
So Keith, okay, so you know I dealt with Demetrius.
Okay.
One of our one of our issues that we had, Demetrius indirectly was very bad with finance. Very bad. Directly.
He's a youngin' too, but go ahead. I'm listening. You know I gotta defend my man, but go ahead.
But it was at a time that, as you say, you see aspects going on. That finance, when that played a slight role in our relationship going farther. I understand what you're saying, you were youngin', but you knew we had bills to pay.
Yeah.
And you get a little tired, Chrysler calling once a month with a car note. And you got bills to pay. You go to Wendy's with $10. Spent $9 at Wendy's. So maybe from that aspect, I realize money's not everything, but when you're coming together, you got to be respectful. One person shouldn't be taking control.
Mm-hmm.
And then also when we talk about households, we both were in college. My mom and them didn't send me to college to be a maid. I went to college to get a maid.
Well,
and I had a part that I used to wash, and Keith, I used to wash clothes, have to clean. It got to a point that this was not what I wanted. Maybe when I was younger, I should have vocalized it more, but I saw it going there. I dealt with a situation where I'm not washing the dishes because my mom used it as punishment when I was little.
I got you.
So I think some of that is still resonating. I still remember that. I know I got to let go because everybody's not the same.
Let go, Gina.
Oh yeah, Gina.
Go.
I got a book that I'm currently reading. It's called Today Matters, and one of the things, the first chapter talks about like the past is past,
right?
The time is now. Leave it there. So yeah, I'm being, I push and everything.
Yeah, and I love that, Ross. That's a good point. But I also got something that I saw that was different, where this man said, no, it was a young lady. He said, go grab your past and bring it to your present so you don't have to relive it. So you take that, you grab that baggage or whatever it is. Now the baggage is walking with you. You know what I'm saying? See, there's different ways to ride that pony. That's basically why I even brought it up.
Isn't that what people do anyway? Bring baggage with them?
Yeah, exactly. But Danny, it's on you. Well, I'm gonna tell you something.
I think they froze.
I'm gonna wait for them to come back. But Roz, you still there? No, she froze too.
She froze.
All right. Talk about tonight until they come back. Talk about tonight's episode, fellas. Tell me what you think. We're gonna start with you, Jaquari, and I'll be right back.
It's been refreshing, man. I mean, it's a very rare occasion where I can dialogue with with single women, and just talk about their situation, relationships, life, and all that. Very very eloquent guests, man. I mean, they are doing a really, really very good job. I mean, that it's been a very good show, man. Very good show, really good show. I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm proud to be a part of it.
I think there's information that's being put out, especially from a single woman's point of view, and I hope that they're getting out everything that they need to say. Sis Malika, she's making her points too.
Yeah, man.
And it's good, let those voices sing, man. Let them speak. Let them say what they got to say. It might change somebody's life somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And I'm happy it's coming from our podcast, man. Strong Perspectives. Everybody like, share, and subscribe. Be a part of the movement. If you don't think it's a movement, hop on board, put your shoulder on it, and push it forward.
All right. We had gotten kicked out, guys.
Okay. You good now, Danny?
Yeah, you muted,
Danny, you muted.
Then you upside down, boo. There you go.
I
There
know.
you go. You
Yeah.
sideways.
Yeah, because the sound's gonna bounce.
Yeah, we only on here.
Can you see us?
Yeah, but why is the sound?
Y'all got that? Yeah, earphone
Yeah,
plugged
mute
in.
yourself.
You know, only one of y'all got to be muted.
Yeah. Test.
Mm-mm.
How you hook it up before, Danny?
I did it.
You got your earphones plugged in? That's all you got to do is plug it in. If you have Roz on off mute, then plug the earphones into hers, and then you can hear off of yours, right? This ain't nothing but the devil. This is nothing but the devil.
Mm-hmm.
This was a great show. Now the devil, now Satan is reared his ugly head. Oh shit.
Jesus on my mind.
Can't hear you, Danny. You muted. Yo.
They look like they into it.
Yeah.
All right, let me just do this. Hey,
Yeah.
Keith Barnes, man. Thank you, brother.
Funny
Thank you
brother,
for tuning in,
man.
man. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. Malika, love you. Thank you for your comment.
Wait. Did you sign off?
No, we ain't signed off yet.
Oh,
No,
okay.
you good. You good. I just want to make sure I get everybody out of the way because sometimes I forget. Steve, what's going on, baby? Leon Bowler, salute, my man. You know what I mean? Because, I like to shout everybody out. You know what I mean?
Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
We back.
Keith was rocking through the whole joint. Hey, Keith.
Oh, yeah. Hey, look, he a catch, too.
That remains to be seen. Where he at? Put him on.
Look. All you got to do is go to our page, Gina, Alicia, Roz. Go to our YouTube channel and like it and share and subscribe to it, right? Keith Barnes has appeared about 4 times. Laid back individual with the big, Sunni beard. He trying to rock it like that.
He said,
You know what I mean? He rolling up and down. You're rolling up and down 95 in his rig that he owned. You feel me? So
he trying to look like a Philly joint, huh?
no, look at you. Now y'all trying to claim every damn thing. Stop that.
You know, the Philly Sunni beard.
But look, let me just do this because we're coming to the end. And ladies, let me tell you, you've been fantastic. I hope you were able to express how you feel about things because that's what this platform is for. It's strong perspective for a reason. Everybody who appears on here, we taking your perspective. This is what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? Look, I'm blessed to have 2 co-hosts with charisma. See that? Look, they hide my non-charisma ass with their charisma. They just blow it up. That's what they do. Great job.
Y'all got it.
No,
You know what I mean?
You guys are doing a hell of a job.
Yes,
and,
sir.
If I fail to say it later, you have an open invitation here.
Is it?
If you have something you'd like to discuss, please bring it to Strong Perspectives. Like, share, and subscribe.
Let us know.
I love it.
Let us know. You guys have an open invitation forever.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
I have to do this in
All right. Now the next question, so we can bring this on home.
Mm-hmm.
This is the question that you liked, and Jaquari, this is the one that you gave me yesterday. You said, "What do you think black men and women? Why do you think black men and women are at each other's throat in these days and time?" Rod, we'll start with you. Lisa, I'm sorry. Danny, we didn't even get to you.
I know.
So we'll start with you, Danny.
There you go.
Okay. What's the question again? Why are we at each other's throats?
Why do you think we are? If you don't think that, then that's cool. But why do you think?
I think because we be lying. We don't be saying what it is we really need and what we really want and what we're really willing to do and what we're really willing to accept. I think people, say they want one thing, but that's not really it. You know what I mean? I I don't send my representative, right? If I meet somebody, I'm me unapologetically. And people can't always take you as you are. You know what I mean? They want you to fit into a box. And I think I have I ain't gonna say I have a big personality, but I got a big personality sometimes, right? And they want to pigeonhole you. People want you to fit where they want you to fit. And that's not where it is. I mean, that's not realistic. The reality is you have to take people as they are. You have to accept them because none of us are perfect. We talked about that earlier, right? Ain't nobody perfect.
Mhm.
And you gotta accept people as they are. I'm silly. I like to sing. I like to dance. You know what I mean? I like to have a good time. Hand me that train. And people don't like it. I've had somebody ask me, like, why are you dancing? Because it's music in my head and I like to dance. You know what I mean? That's why I'm dancing. Why is that a problem for you?
Okay.
Um, you know, people don't want to compromise. We getting older. It's harder to compromise the older you get. I mean, I guess in a nutshell, without talking too long, that's just it. You know what I mean? We got to be realistic about what we want. We got to be able to accept people as they are. And people just not really, I think, willing to do that. People want to pigeonhole you, and that's not how it works. You got to accept people as they are. Good, bad,
Gina.
Sometimes maybe it's society, maybe it's just ourselves. As black women, we kind of stick to the black men, where our black men will go to anybody else
Ooh.
from any other background. We stick with black men. If you look at history, I mean, you just look around. You see black women more with black women. Black men see black men more with.
Hey, I love you to death.
Huh?
I love you to death, but me and my brother got to comment on that bomb right there. So when you done, we are definitely going to do that.
Because as black women, we try to stand behind our black men like we always years ago, and some of it might go deep down into slavery because you had the white slave owner. He got with the black woman. You had the white woman who was upset over it. So who's she gonna go sneak around with the black man? So now that it's open, they can all just have lolly-dolly and do what they want to do. Where the black man and the black woman is still like, you forced me to be with you. It wasn't on my own accord.
Okay.
Right.
I respect
that's a lot, and that plays a whole thing with the whole black family. You're talking about from slavery is why we have some of our issues we have amongst ourselves because of this.
I respect that. Damon, so what do you think about what Gina just said?
I think that there's a lot of truth to that, but by the same token, I think that we nowadays is just too much information and stuff that's happening out there where you can get people's different perspectives or whatever, and it might not coincide with your own. But is that really your reality, man? Because you're an individual person. And you got to live your life how you live it. People going to either accept it or they're not. Those that don't accept it, then, you know what I'm saying? How is that your problem? How is that your issue? You know what I'm saying? As far as black men and black women, is that really the case? You know what I'm saying? I mean, have we ever stopped to think that there are a lot of black men and women that's trying to make it work? That's doing that level best? You know what I'm saying? We only look at the negative side of it and say, hey, this is what it is. People express bad feelings and bad experiences more than those good times. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you're hearing mostly is that negative thing. But just to give women a good idea, if you want to build something with a brother, man, he got to be over 35, man. Gotta be. You know what I'm saying? If they're younger, you know what I'm saying, they're about that show, they're about that whatever. But when you get 35 and up, you start thinking about, well, hey, you know what? You know, I'm tired of sleeping by myself. I'm tired of being by myself. I'm tired of eating by myself. I'm tired of taking trips by myself. You know, and
Preach, brother, because I am so sick of doing everything by myself and with my girlfriend.
right. You know, it's about maturity, man. But everybody go through their own maturation process. You know what I'm saying? Everybody do dumb shit when they're young. You know, or they regret not fostering a relationship they had in the past. You know, or
Even though they wasn't ready for it, but go ahead.
even though they themselves was the catalyst of the shit not working out. You know, you just have to be honest with yourself. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nobody's fault. I mean, we looking at blame, you know, but like I said, man, you know, and I have some experience with the strongest bond in this world is a black man and a black woman. It just is. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is working on all cylinders. Everything is, you know, to the accord. There's nothing you can't face and overcome. You know, and those are the things that the youngins are looking at. The youngins are looking at that. They're saying, okay, Auntie so-and-so been together 40 plus years. Her and Unc. How they do it? It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but for them, shit worked out because they was in tune with each other, you know. I don't know if I answered the question, man, but that's the answer that I have in my head, you know.
But you know what? Sometimes Auntie just didn't have no choice because she didn't have the wherewithal to manage herself. You still muted?
We're muted.
All right, well,
I don't know what's going on here, but I'm gonna stop talking.
try unmuting Roz and then talking this because that's what you was doing before.
She did. Go
Oh,
ahead.
you did? Okay. Yeah, that was.
Yeah. Okay, it's on you.
Because that was a trip, boy.
That was a trip. I was like, where am I?
Oh my God.
So you know, but sometimes, you know, a lot of times in the past, we talk about how long they was together, you know, our grandparents and such. But a lot of times our grandparents or our grandmothers didn't really have a choice because women didn't have, you know, the wherewithal and they weren't even viewed as, you know, independent people. For a long time, women were just viewed as their husband's property almost. So, you know, they really didn't have much of a choice in terms of staying. Now things
Wait a minute, are you talking about the color purple days or are you talking about around our age? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised how many grandmothers held on to the purse string.
Grandparents. We
Yeah.
talk about our grandmothers.
Yeah.
And even though my grandmother worked, you know, my grandfather still took care of her, right? When she retired, when my grandmother retired, she retired. Okay. She ain't work no more. She ain't do nothing. Her husband took care of her. So I'm not saying that their marriage was bad because as far as I can see, their marriage was good. But a lot of times it's like in Living Color, they still together. They behind doors, they can't stand each other. They hate each other, but they still together because it worked, right? And I think now, you know, things changed. And so far as my generation, you know, I'm like, man, I ain't staying with him. I ain't gonna be miserable.
That makes a lot of sense, Danny. So
Right.
that's the thing.
Hey.
It's up to the person
Yeah.
more than anything. But
and that's to be respected too, because you recognize that.
You recognized it. You know. All right. Well, look, Danny.
Yes.
We're gonna go to Roz because you know there's a lot of. I'm gonna give you guys the opportunity to talk about it, but I want to get to Roz and Alicia, and then Jaquari. We're gonna come to you.
Okay.
Repeat the question.
So I'm gonna go back because I think the question was why are we kind of going at it?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm gonna speak from me. So for me, I think that we're not listening to each other. as men and women. We're not listening to each other. We're not communicating, and also we communicate differently. You know, as a woman, we got to speak what 10,000 words a day, and a man does not. So I think there's a disconnect. They shut down, and we got to talk. So I think that we're not communicating, and we react instead of respond. So
I got you.
And then lastly, I want to say is that sometimes we're not being loved like we need to be loved. There's different love languages, and I know don't go buy me Maserati when I just need you to be honest, present, and have some integrity. So, and like what Damon said, is basically, we gotta go back and we gotta love each other, like when we took that vow, like let's just love each other like that. Like remember that. That's the basis of it. So
okay.
Yeah.
Alicia.
I think two things. One, even though I think everybody on here has said we don't respond to peer pressure, that we're very clear about what it is that we want, and we're confident in our ability to stand in that. I do think that many, even if it's not us on here, many are influenced or impacted by media and the narrative, as you called it, Keith, of what we hear. And you even find it in language change, right? So we start talking, you start seeing phrases used because somewhere someone began to use a phrase. Take, for example, high value man, high value woman. That even the language being used now as broadly as it's being used came from a particular individual really promoting that, and it got picked up and carried forward. So if we follow that same thinking, some of the images that we see in the media pit us against each other because we are thinking about, why Black women are against Black men, and they emasculate Black men, and Black women feel this, that, the other. We hear that repeatedly, and it begins to have an influence on our thinking. So now we're looking at something and we begin to think like, yeah, well, why is it that I feel like this always, or whatever? And so we've bought into or played into the very hands that have been designed to separate us from the first place. So that's the first thing.
Okay.
The second thing is, why are we against each other? Is Ross talked about it. Other people have talked about it. We say we're not listening to each other, because I do think that sometimes we're so set in our own experience that we can't step outside of ourselves for a moment in relationship with others. Sometimes I have to set aside my own whatevers and just for 1 second look at the situation from the perspective, or try to look at it from the perspective of the other person with compassion, with grace, and with mercy. And we don't always interact with each other because we're too steeped in, well, what I feel and what I need. And instead of saying, let me set aside for my second and think about it from the other side of it.
Right.
So we tend to argue. I used to teach conflict, and conflict a lot of times gets always attributed to personality. But the reality is conflict sometimes comes from differences in information. So Roz and I are sitting here looking at opposite sides of a quarter, and we're arguing over the description of a quarter, when the reality is she's looking at the quarter from ahead and I'm looking at it from the tail. We're both looking at a quarter and describing the quarter accurately, but we're arguing with each other instead of saying, well, you know what? Let me set aside what I'm seeing and come around and try to see it from your perspective. That cuts the argument down right there, because I realize, oh, that's why, because you're seeing something different than what I'm seeing.
Right.
But that requires you to step outside of your own selfish individual needs for a minute and step into the shoes, or try to step into the shoes of another. I'm not going to ever really understand everything for Rob, but I can try. And if I'm in a relationship and I love you, my job is to try to understand things from your perspective and not just selfishly sit in my own.
Oh, okay.
Great point.
Yeah.
Great point.
Yeah. Jaquari.
Well, I mean, first of all, I'll start by saying my love language is dinner and obedience. But no, I'm just joking. But no, I think we're at each other's throats, because A lot of times, men tend to forget the things that attracted them to to their mates in the first place. You know, if you say that, oh man, she talks all the time. Okay, yeah, well, her conversation attracted you, did it? Her opinions and the things and the things that were important to her. When she verbalized those things, you enjoyed that. You know, the fact that y'all might come to a situation where y'all bump heads and she disagrees with you doesn't change that initial attraction. We forget why we love our mates. We do. And what we get from the world, I mean, that doesn't help. Doesn't help. But that's yeah. I don't really have a follow up to that. That's everything that was said was spot on, I believe. So,
well, let me just say this. I formed the question with high value man and high value woman for a reason. Because there's no such thing, first of all. It is what you like and what that person gives you, period. What you're willing to take, what you're willing to give. That's the value in it. It has nothing to do with anything else other than that, in my opinion. Now, if you look at it the way that it's the cookie cutter thing with the late Kevin Samuels, right? If you look at it that way and you want to believe that, then that's on you. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong, but I'm going to tell you my side of it. Because when we describe relationships, and you guys let me know if you're feeling this or not. When we describe relationships between black men and black women, it always comes from, now I'll take that back, not always. A lot of times it comes from a feeling of pain. The feeling of pain in a relationship, a lost relationship, not the current one that you're in. Because if you're in a so-called loving relationship, meaning that you're happy, right? Then you cannot allow yourself to be, what's the best way to put this? To allow yourself to be influenced by entertainment. Kevin Samuels, whatever you think about it, Kevin Samuels was an entertainer. The reason why I say that is because Kevin Samuels did the same thing a year earlier. He did the same thing to men. What we saw him do to those women, where he said, look, you not this, you not that. If you did your research, you would have saw that he did the same thing to men. Calling them fat, calling them this, you're not valuable, you're not this. He did the same thing to men. As a matter of fact, he did it for a year and a half. Right? But guess what he did? When he flipped it, that's when he knew, oh, damn, I can get my bag from there. You feel what I'm saying? And I brought him up because he was brought up before. But I try not to let me personally, I try not to let my actual pain of my past determine what my relationship is in my present. I can't do it.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
So the thing is that I think it just as people, everybody wants to be loved. Everybody kind of in our own innate way want to have some one person we can depend on.
I love that.
I think right now, what we run into, we're in our 50s. Everybody's set in certain ways of what they will and they won't take. Don't want to deal with the man when he finished running around doing all this and he broke up.
He all dried up
now.
Oh, there y'all go. See, I didn't tell y'all, be careful now. Be careful when you say stuff.
sometimes we might be a little bit too choosy and too.
No. If you're gonna be choosy, Gina, you're gonna be choosy.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
What I mean by choosy is that we're finding fault in people instead of letting people be who they are. Because we have to realize there's fault in us.
Oh, go on,
And
preach.
everybody's not perfect.
Okay.
I mean, it's a hard thing to digest. We sometimes, just as individuals across the board, we're not perfect, but we can always point out other people's imperfections.
Fabulous.
And sometimes everybody's not going to give you 100. They might give you 80%, but with that 80%, do they tell you and make you feel loved? That's something that we forget. Because y'all three are married, and loving your wife loving you, sometimes overcomes all those financial, those little issues, because that person got your back. And you respect them and they respect you. You might feel like one day sometimes they don't respect you, but then they got your back.
Well, can I add one more thing? Gina brought it up. One of the biggest lies I think we tell ourselves, and we said it earlier on this podcast by our ago, and I think it's a lie, and this is just my opinion, and everybody got one, just like you got a booty hole.
If somebody else ain't using it.
I don't need someone. And I'm going to, and just stay with me. Every human being, you study Maslow's hierarchy needs, every human being on the earth needs to love and be loved. So when we tell ourselves, I don't need nobody, no, you may not need for what society tells you. I wrote, sometimes I write a little poetry. I wrote a piece and I said, unfortunately, many men in my experience feel like their power is in two P's, their pocket and the penis. Can I say that? I'm sorry. Can I say that?
What?
And that's not where your power is. Your power is in your ability to love and to be loved. And we all need that as human beings, whether that comes from a mate or it comes from family or whoever it is. If we can set aside all the other things we think we need and really go back to and admit from a vulnerable place, recognize our vulnerabilities, that yes, we want and need to be loved. And there's nothing wrong with that because we are human beings and we were designed from a spiritual space. We were designed to love and we were designed to be loved. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that as a need.
And that's in the commandments. So let's be clear.
So when you talk about why we're against each other, because we're too busy trying to talk about, I don't need this, I don't need. No, yeah, you do.
You do.
Yeah, you do. That's why you're at odds. And the real conflict is not with each other. The conflict is within yourself because you can't admit it.
Always.
That's
It's
honest.
always within you.
That was
Always within you. It's no matter what. It is always with you. Now, your mate could do something that you don't like, but the energy that you put into what they did, if it's something slight, is because it's something within you. It's what it is. It's what it is. And believe me, I have made many mistakes in my marriage. Hell, my nickname in my family is the ogre. You feel what I'm saying? My sons and my wife, that's what they call me. Because sometimes I am, and it's not directed at them, I am silent because of working on me. You feel what I'm saying? Now, don't get what I'm saying confused with me being. See, this is the ego in me saying this. I've never been a soft human being. I've always been rock hard. But the thing about it is, I know how to listen. I know how to listen because I'm going after what I need in life, period. You feel me?
There you go.
No, the decades I knew you as a young kid.
Say what now?
Knowing you as long as I've known you, you always wanted to be the father figure. Or you always were the father figure, kind of, sort of. The one who would say, calm down, maybe you're wrong. Maybe that's something you just picked up from growing up. And by being that, like they would say, daddy, sometimes it prevented you from being Keith. Of just sitting back and enjoying and let me make my mistakes, and I don't have anybody coming back saying, well, Dad, you did that and I can do that and you weren't supposed to do that.
Well, you know what? Honestly, you have a good point, but that's something that I took on because I was put in charge of these two men, these strong, powerful men. I was put in charge of them when my parents was at work in a way.
But you brought it into school too.
Because you know why? Honestly, me, look at my stature. Who I am. See what I'm saying? And that confidence, Gina, that's basically what I'm alluding to. It's that confidence of who I am. That's all.
At the same time, sometimes it goes back to when we say we independent women. Sometimes I don't want to be an independent woman.
That's real.
Sometimes I think more than that, I sometimes want to sit back and let you just take the stream. But it comes to a point where I got to learn how to trust.
That's real.
Can I ask you guys something real quick? It's burning. The question is burning. For Danny and Roz, you say you guys were married and you guys were divorced. Have you? How did it make you feel the first time you seen your husband cry? If you ever seen it, how did it make you feel?
Oh, we gotta go back. How did it make me feel? Damn. That's one spot here. How did it make me feel? I thought it drew me closer to him when he cried because he didn't do a lot of crying, but at his grandfather's funeral was the first time I saw him cry. So, yeah, it was namesake. So that's the first time I saw him cry. So,
okay,
it kind of drew me closer to him. So,
did it scare you, or did it make you like?
It didn't scare me at all.
Like, damn, this nigga got emotions.
No, it didn't scare me at all.
Did it? So it didn't detract from his status in your point.
Oh hell no! If he's still married to that motherfucker, right? Excuse. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
No,
it did not.
Actually, the word "motherfucker" is used quite frequently.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
so if I could be married to that motherfucker right now, I would be. But he just he's not part of my. He ain't part of my destiny.
So you saw this, right?
You got to mute, Danny.
I got her. You saw this, right, Roz, right? And when you became angry at him, did it manifest itself? Because sometimes why men who don't want to open up is because they learn from their significant other that when that woman saw them weak, they turned it back on them. So when you became angry at him, did that come back to you?
I don't know where the angry part came in. So
no, I'm saying if you became angry. If you didn't, then that's cool.
I did not become angry.
That's good. That's good. All right.
No, not because of the crying.
Okay.
Like,
no. I'm talking about later on.
Oh, later on?
Yeah.
Later on, when I became angry at him, it was for me, it was justifiable. So that's it.
Didn't come back up.
And it did not.
I'm trying to be all right because I cried at drop of a goddamn hat. Man. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it ain't no bigger release. Man, for real.
And both of them over there, and this is no shade on them. Both of them fucking killers. But hey, Danny.
Since I watched my mama pass away.
Oh yeah.
I can't watch shit on TV that's emotional, man.
That's real. That's real.
What I'm saying? I'm feeling it.
That's real.
And I accept that.
Oh.
Yeah, I accept it. Yeah, fuck it.
Danny, it's on you.
Fuck it.
It's on you. It's on you, Danny.
Honestly, I don't remember. I told you I've been divorced a long time. I separated in.
Hey, Jaquari, tell her your question.
Well, I asked specifically you Danny and Roz because you guys were married or whatever, but I want to hear from all the ladies. How did it affect you the first time you seen your significant other cry?
I don't think I ever
Yeah,
saw
that's what I
it.
was saying. Like, I don't really remember, but I mean, I don't feel like crying is a sign of weakness for a man. I feel like being able to show vulnerability shows a level of comfortability in your relationship. So I wouldn't look at it as like a sign of weakness or anything like that. And I've never been one to like hit below the belt when I'm fighting. So that wouldn't be something that would come back for me in a fight. Like, yeah, your punk ass was crying.
That's why your feet stink.
I'm not gonna say it.
Said I would think it.
I might be like, bitch ass.
Yeah, so
Nah.
honestly, like I said, I don't remember, but I know who I am in every sense, you know what I mean? And so that's not something that I would like throw back up. And I wouldn't view it as a sign of weakness. I would see it, you know, as just humanity. Like, you know what I mean? Everybody's human and everybody hurts, and crying. Like, I don't know if it was Jakari or Damon who said it, but it is a sense of release. You know what I mean? And listen, I ain't gonna hold you. I'm a big old crybaby.
I cry.
And
Go TV
sometimes
show.
it
Don't
might
stop.
be TV. Sometimes I
Cry all
might
the
just
time.
empathize with somebody about something and start crying. I might just see something that just be like, oh my God, that's so touching. You know what I mean? And so I don't see that as a sign of weakness. I just see it as being human. And I think men who are able to, you know, to be able to let that go and cry, you know what I mean? I think that's good. It's healthy.
Beautiful.
Instead of trying to be like, I'm so strong. That's, you know what I mean? That's going to lead to a break at some point in some way that might not be healthy. So
I'm gonna tell you the first time, and then Gina and Alicia, you can answer Jaquari's question. The first time that I knew it was okay, because my father was that was John Armstrong. Man, he was look. If you want to get into the stereotype, he was red like both my brothers, red, brown, clay like my brothers, man, and a man, right? I knew it was okay to cry when I saw him cry. And the first time I ever saw him cry, I was 22 years old. 22 years old. And why he cried is because we were in Mississippi, because that's where he's from. And he tracked down his uncle, my great uncle, tracked him down because nobody had heard from him. And the condition that he found him in, first I saw him angry. And I had to move out the way, because when my pops got, Damon and Quarry tell you, when he got angry, it was you need to move the fuck out the way. So we leave, and we're driving down the road, and I'm sitting beside my father. And what's so crazy about it is, I saw him and he was cursing because his daughter, my uncle's daughter, was in the back. That my Aunt Liz was in the back seat. This is the only reason why he went to look for his uncle. And he pulled over like we was in a damn movie. And he gets out the car, and I'm like, yo, I get out the car, like, yo, what's going on? And he cries. I'm talking about a heavy, sorrowful cry. And the only thing I can do is put my hand on his shoulder.
That was the first time you seen him cry, man?
Because I didn't know how to handle it. I told you I was 22, man.
You know when the first time I saw him cry? When you called home and you said they was giving you death threats and shit at Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time I saw him cry.
Pittsburgh. I mean, oh my God.
Key.
Keith.
You
Say it
getting
again.
death threats in Pittsburgh, Key?
Yeah, I mean, that basketball shit.
Damn. That's fucked up.
You know, they used to write write
It's
letters and shit like that. But that was, hell, it wasn't my fault. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? But
you ain't know that affected your dad.
nah, not really. No. But like I said, that's when I knew it was okay, because he was the standard. He wasn't the richest man, but what he was a billionaire when it came to respect and just the way he stood. He was 6'2". Me and my brothers, Damon 6'5", Jaquari 6'8", I'm 6'9". Damn. But
6'7", bro.
But the way we
You said
looked
it
at
last
him,
night.
the way we looked at our
You
father,
6'8",
he could be
bro.
7 foot. That's real. That's real. That's what it is.
You mean the Karate Man?
Yeah. He used to kick our ass too. But no, this is last day because he was a martial artist, so he wanted us to be able to protect ourselves. So this is the last question of the night, and then we're gonna bring it on home, ladies. We appreciate your patience. We appreciate your answers and all of this, and we're gonna keep it light. We're gonna keep it light.
Hallelujah.
What is cancel culture to you?
Oh my God.
I know, right?
We'll start at, and I have my own idea, but this is something, another purposeful.
It is.
It's stupid.
We'll start with you, Roz. Go ahead.
You can start with me. All right. So cancel me like this is it. We over. We done. I'm not doing life with you. You no longer are a part of my destiny. That's it.
Okay. Lisa.
So when you say cancel culture, I guess I wasn't thinking of it necessarily in a relationship context, but I think that cancel culture for me is, I'm about to get in trouble. I know
Go ahead.
So cancel culture to me is a shortcoming in an individual who's willing to cancel somebody without even really taking time to understand what's really going on, or take time to understand why a person said what they said, without doing your homework and your due diligence. When you're ready to just write somebody off because of a snippet or a one-time situation or one occurrence of something, that's a shortcoming in your own self. It has nothing to do with the other individual. And that's my opinion. Like I said, we all got it in,
Yeah.
Listen, I just think we're too quick to be able to write people off because that's the easy thing to do. It's hard to do the work to understand someone. It takes time to do the work to say, wait a minute, let me really understand what they're talking about. It's easy to just be able to write somebody off and a microwave generation result of a microwave generation. Go ahead.
Okay. Gina.
Yes.
What is cancel
culture? To me, is basically coming to society not wanting to have an open mind. And I say that because everything they canceling when we grew up was all acceptable. You can watch 2 or 3 shows, Sanford and Son, All in the Family, and Jefferson. And they say everything that nowadays, if that was said, they would cancel this group. People just aren't open-minded anymore. It's my way or the highway. Okay. That's how I'm viewing this whole cancel.
Quick and easy.
Danny Diamonds, move the drink so we can see your pretty face, young lady.
You can't see it.
All right, go ahead.
It's so lit.
So, girl, I'm tired at this point.
I heard the question
is going. I didn't have a nap and everything, but no. So I don't know. Cancel culture. You know what? It's a couple things, right? Like, like they saying it's intolerance, right? But then it's also like we not canceling the right people. Like Donald Trump is probably about to be president again.
Don't say that.
He has a really good shot at
Don't
it, right?
speak it though.
We got people who are like we see black people who are really supporting this Joker because they got businesses, right? Because they entrepreneurs and they like, oh well, he about the businessman and I'm gonna make the money.
Bankruptcy.
But at what cost? Like, my business gonna do good, but he gonna put little kids in concentration camps. He gonna be, he's racist, and he gonna put black people out of his rallies, even though they supporters. Like, it's ridiculous. So, cancel culture is just like it's almost like peer pressure, right? You're just going along with whatever whatever the popular opinion is. We going along and we canceling. But the real issue is You know what I mean? Can we really pay attention to what really matters and see who we should be supporting and who we shouldn't be supporting? Because I mean, it's ridiculous.
Why should we be upset
And-
if people don't agree?
Yeah,
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody don't have to have the same
Time.
opinion.
Right.
Matter of fact, I saw a post today. One of my friends, the girl posted, you know, listen, this is what it takes to upkeep a woman. You know, my hair costs
Oh,
between $200 and $400. My nail costs up to $150. My wax costs like $60 to
I did see
$100.
that.
My eyelashes cost up to $100. Your little $100 you sending me, boo, ain't about nothing, right? And everybody's like, oh no, is she tripping? Is she accurate? Is she right? Listen, that's what she wants. You know what I mean? What? Now, if you the man that's willing to pay for it, then y'all can rock out. If you the man who ain't willing to pay for it, take your little $100 and bounce.
Get out.
But everybody has their own. Everybody, I'm allowed to want what I want. She's allowed to want what she wants. I do my own hair, so you ain't got to. You're not. My maintenance. I'm going to take care of myself because I'm a grown woman, and that's what I'm gonna do. Because I'm not going to depend on nobody else to make sure I have the basic necessities that I need, right? But the reality is, she can want what she want. If she require her man to give her $2,000 a month to make sure she can handle her stuff, then that's on her, and that's on the man, and that's on the man that's willing to do that, right? Because if you're not willing to do it, you could be like, girl, I ain't doing that. Go on with yourself. Because at the end of the day, all we got to do is be black and die.
That's it.
You don't even have to pay taxes. People be like, you got to pay taxes. No,
Nope.
you don't.
You don't.
You could go to jail and pay stuff. It's always a choice. All you have to do is be black and die.
Yeah.
Right?
There's
So-
people owing taxes from 2008.
Yeah.
Exactly. That you ain't got to pay taxes if you don't want to. You might go to jail, you know what I mean? They might take your stuff. But at the end of the day, we're all allowed to want what we want, and how we respond to it is how we respond to it. You know what I mean? I talked earlier about men who don't want to date you, they just want you to come and sit in the house and be with them. Well, that's fine, that's what they want. But that ain't what I want. I had a guy tell me, oh, I just want to do this with you. And I said, well, I want to do this. You see how we not on the same page? And so that's how, you know what I mean? We don't have to agree with everybody. But I'm gonna do what I want to do. You do what you want to do. I ain't gotta cancel you because you're not necessarily on the same page. But then when it comes to shit like Diddy or R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel some kind of way that I can't listen to R. Kelly music without being like without feeling some kind of way, right? Man, listen.
You can't listen to R. Kelly's music without feeling some kind of way. Is that what you just said?
That's
She said it.
exactly what I said.
Wow.
Listen, you be like, you remind me of my G.
Listen, Spash.
I'm
And every song that he's made, but hold on. Let me just say this.
When I hear it, I'm thinking this ninja was having sex with little girls. It's a whole different meaning, but I still like the music, right? I don't want to cancel him altogether. We ain't cancel Michael Jackson. Because come on, let's be real. Michael was messing with them kids, right? I mean, I don't know if he was because I wasn't there, but I ain't gonna let Michael Jackson watch my kids or my grandbabies. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Well, he can't because he's going.
I mean, I know he's going, but I'm saying even when he was here, guess what? Macaulay Culkin, all them little kids. You're not spending time with my kid, Michael. He's not coming to Never Neverland because maybe you're not having sex with them kids, but maybe you are, right? And so,
I don't think Michael did.
but
I
ain't
know.
even
We
a Michael
digress.
Jackson
We
fan.
digress. We
I ain't even-
digress.
I don't know. We
Come
don't
back.
know 'cause we
Come
wasn't
back.
here. I'm not a Michael Jackson
I just
fan,
don't know.
but I don't think we should have to cancel all Michael music, all R. Kelly music, all Bad Boy music because they bad guys.
Danny, you not a fan of Off the Wall? Are you?
Oh, I
Yeah.
love Off the Wall. Yeah,
That's when I fell in love. That
All
made
right,
Okay.
right. Cancel culture is too extreme. It's like when you have no tolerance rules, right? And you say anybody who does anything is expelled because we have no tolerance. That's ridiculous. You have to look at everything on a
cowboy hat
case
on.
by case basis.
But you know something? They don't cancel people when they say nigger or call black people. But if you call somebody a
Because black
bag or
lives
gay,
don't matter.
they
It's not the
cancel.
same thing.
Doesn't it have to do? Don't it have to do with who's in charge of everything?
Absolutely.
Hey, yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? When you know what's politically correct and all that. But
Right.
look, let's do this. Jaquari,
I need some
you and Damon come in real quick, and then we just gonna bring it on home. You muted, Jaquari.
Real quick, man, I don't make a statement. I don't want to step on any toes or anything like that. But Black people benefited from cancel culture in the beginning because everybody, you know, all our white counterparts or whatever who was on Facebook popping shit, and we really couldn't see it until somebody did the research. Kind of cleared them out because people, you know, the news was going to people's places of work and asking them about, you know, what did you say nigga at lunch? You know, did you talk about slavery and how it wasn't real and all this and all that? Got those people out. It didn't really affect us negatively until it started to happen to us. A lot of my personal heroes or whatever, you know, got dirt on their faces. You know, I mean, from decades ago, we're hearing about stuff that happened, you know, with popular people. And it's changed the way we feel about those periods in our lives. I don't want to know about, you know, my entertainers' personal business and shit. Just like I don't want them in my business. You know, they serve the purpose of entertainment
I respect
on the stage,
The
you know,
entertainers is what they are.
Yeah, I mean, did infidelity take away any of the power from Martin Luther King's point of view?
But look,
Yeah,
look.
exactly.
But see, here's the thing. When it comes to Martin Luther King, honestly, first of all, you want to say those things, right? But the FBI was doing dirt on everybody, so they made that shit up, and people.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Now, this is not against you. I'm just saying, just commenting on it because they always bring it up when they talk about this man sacrificed his life for Black people. And then they say, well, yo, he fucking around.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's what you need. You got to be that kind of person, man. You know what I mean? Damon.
Man, I was done with that cancel culture shit, man. When I watched Don King introducing Donald Trump, and he used the N-word 15, 11 damn times, and Donald Trump and all these other coons in the background, they was falling out laughing and thought it was funny. And I'm like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Cancel culture works for other people and not so much for others, man. You know, and I'm 58 years old, dude. What if I live until I'm 80? I don't give a damn, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care. You know? And plus, the people who go all out to try to cancel somebody is some little 68-pound boy built like a girl, you know what I'm saying, in his basement trying to cancel it. Man, get out of here with that bullshit, man.
All right, well, look. We got the women that came on here and they done got drunk. They on that good bullshit, even though, y'all did a great job, ladies, but y'all was on some bullshit tonight at the end.
Yo, hey.
What do you mean we was on some BS tonight?
No, Lisa,
Hey, are y'all
you're a
toasting
veteran.
for real?
You held it, Lisa, but everybody else, damn.
And they just cussed me out because I was like, I'm going to manage the mute button because y'all keep interrupting the brothers. And
Yeah.
They done fussed me out. That's why Danny took over the
Hey,
laptop.
look, on that drunk shit, man. Stop that. Y'all, hey, but hold on, Danny. Hold on. I'm just messing with you. Y'all did a great job. But
Yeah,
damn, do it. Look, when you go on podcast, do it in moderation. Feel good, but don't feel too good, please.
Pass the collection plate right now.
you know.
Pass the collection plate.
Hey, look. No, for real though. Y'all did a great job, man. For
Oh,
real. Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you for having
Thank you for
me.
letting me and Gina crash.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Thank you for letting us crash. Anytime you want us to come on,
All right, then stay on once we get off live. And we
Okay.
get on.
All right.
Damon Jaquari, take us on out of here, man.
All right, and bye, Keith Barnes, wherever you are.
Okay.
Threw that little caveat out, huh?
Yeah,
Keith
yeah.
Barnes.
Take us
I'll
on out. Hey,
have it.
Damon Jaquari, take us on out.
Hey, I gotta pat myself on the back, man, because I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning, and I feel like Fred Flintstone when he kicked the door in and shit, growling. You know, but I hung in there, you know, and I appreciate being on hand with you ladies, you know what I'm saying, and as well as my brothers and Malika and everybody that's commenting, man. It was a good show.
Yeah.
Jaquari?
Thank
Keith,
you.
Keith, Damon, man, as always, man, hell of a job, ladies. I double down on my statement from earlier. There's always a space for you here. Please do not hesitate to contact Keith if you have an idea that you want to explore on our podcast. Bring it to us. We've actually discussed the way you guys are seated and everything, because I think that would be a hell of a thing for us three brothers to be in the room at the same time.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
And I see that
yeah.
it works. You know,
It works. It
Hell
works.
of a job. Hell of a job.
Yes,
Very
man.
eloquent, very put together, and I appreciate your statements. I thank you for your time.
All right. Well, look, make sure you go to Strong Perspective Podcast on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe. Understand we promote conversation. We promote strong perspective from everyday people who doing great things in life. And this is what we try to showcase. Thank you, ladies. This is strong. Thank you, brothers. This is Strong Perspective Podcast.
Absolutely. We're gonna see y'all
And we
later.
out.